EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome in, everybody, to a Football Friday edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports. I'm your host, Zander Krause. That's my co-host, Johnny Mac, John McMullen, as we are now a couple days out from that Week 2 matchup between the Eagles and the Chiefs, this much-anticipated Super Bowl rematch. Johnny Mac, how you doing on this Football Friday, brother?
Doing well. A little disappointed in last night's game. I was expecting a better game, but boy, man, Green Bay is going to be a freaking problem.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that game a little bit, John. Before we get into, obviously, Eagles-Chiefs, we got a great show planned. It's our last show before that Eagles and Chiefs game, before the pregame show. We're going to talk to Les Bowen today, as we missed him yesterday, but we'll talk to him in hour number 2. What'd you make of that game? So I had 2 takeaways, all right, John? And somebody tweeted it to me this morning, but it's exactly what I was thinking. Commanders, war of attrition is going to be a problem. And Packers, that defense is damn freaking good. Now, let's see how they continue to shake out. But what were some of your takeaways from that game last night, Johnny Mac?
Yeah, well, first it goes to Jerry Jones. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's and the fans in Green Bay were tweaking him. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry. He's finally going to win a goddamn Super Bowl because they're, it's a long way. They and attrition's a big part of it to the point of Washington. And they lost Jaden Reed for 6 to 8 weeks. It's going to be. So, everybody's got injuries and you saw it last year with Detroit. But, man, they played 2 of the best teams in the NFC, quotations, to open it up. And it's September and everybody's trying to feel their way and all that's baked into it. But they outclassed them in a league that's built on parity. That's concerning. That is concerning if you're another team in the NFC, which the Eagles are. They aren't just beating these teams. They are dominating these teams. And Micah's a big part of it, but, that's the final piece to the puzzle.
He was, John, he was.
Oh, he's unbelievable. I hope people watch that game. He's unbelievable. So
they couldn't deal with him. They could. That rookie tackle is he had a long
poor Josh Connerly. He was a good player. The Eagles loved him coming out. And I think he'll be fine long term. But again, rookies need time to grow. He is a problem, and I've been saying it for years. And because he wore a star on his helmet, people fail to recognize it in this town. He's one of the very few people that you can't block. You just can't block him.
Yeah.
And you gotta pay so much attention to him. So it's already clear you have to beat Green Bay a certain way. I can tell you that already. You got to get the lead immediately. And you got to shorten the game, and you got to make sure everything's on the table, run, pass game, because if they get a chance to tee off, like they're up 14-0 yesterday, if they get a chance to tee off and you become one-dimensional, you're cooked. That is just a good football team. And that was my fear whenever, get them out of the division. Get them the hell out of the conference.
Yeah.
And I said, obviously, the Cowboys weren't able to win. You trade to a bad organization, to a rebuilding organization. Yeah, you could have got away with that. But to put him on that team at this particular time, and then all the spooky nature of, they put it on the broadcast. Bart Starr won a Super Bowl when he was 27. Brett Favre won a Super Bowl when he was 27. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl when he was 27. Jordan Love is turning 27 this year. That's the spooky stuff.
That then is the numerology element, John. That's interesting.
Then the second part is Darian Kennard's on that freaking team. Darian Kennard won a Super Bowl in Kansas City. Darian Kennard won a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. Yeah, some spooky shit as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Long way to go. But the only thing beating that team is attrition.
Not what I expected to hear from Johnny Mac this morning, that there was some numerology and that Darian Kennard, and it could be the lucky.
That's tongue in cheek. Yeah. I'm joking with that.
In all seriousness, that Packers team is really good. John, I don't know. I don't want to toot my horn, but I was not sold this summer on the Commanders being ready to compete. Now, I'm not saying they're a bad football team. It's very early in the year. I think they have they have a good opportunity to be really good, but That did not look like rookie Jaden Daniels to me last night. Now, their offensive line was in hell because of that Green Bay Packers defensive front, but Jaden Daniels looked way off his game last night, and I do think the age on that team, John, is going to be a problem. I mean, they lost Dietrich Wise last night. Who else did they – they lost 3 or 4 guys in that game.
Austin Eckler done for
Austin Eckler, I think, is going to be out. Noah Brown was out, and John Bates, yeah.
Well, those guys are younger, so yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I've seen that a lot. They got 2 older guys carted off, and certainly Eckler's done for the season. That was an Achilles, and that's a non-contact injury. Look, attrition's a big part of it. Somebody put 2 guys on injured reserve, 2 young guys after week 1. I forget. I have to look it up, but I mean, that's just football. And the Achilles stuff. I mean, if you want to look at anything there besides age, it's like, is the ramp up period good enough for these players? Because you constantly see the soft tissue, the hamstrings, the less harmful injuries, but Achilles being, really serious. That to me is a more relevant discussion. With Washington, it's you better hope Green Bay's that good because they played like crap. But I think Green Bay's that good. So I'm not ready to say Washington isn't a potential playoff team. Same thing with Detroit. I think Detroit's going to be just fine this week.
I think Washington's still a playoff team. I just don't know if they're ready to take the size jump that some people were expecting.
Well, I've said it pretty consistently.
You feel good about them winning the East still?
Well, yeah, that from the standpoint of just playing the numbers game and the percentage in 2 decades and that kind of thing. And plus the Eagles have the difficult schedule and all that stuff. I've said pretty consistently, I think the Eagles are a better team. I think that's a situation where the 3 games on the schedule that they have to play versus the 3 games, I think that's the difference. Ultimately, the real difference will be those 2 games late in the season, at least the first one. The second one might be, the first game might be for all the marbles, but more about that. I've always thought the Eagles are a better team. I just think that's the way the NFL works. It's not a balanced schedule. That's the reason you have these things. But I've said it pretty consistently with Washington last year. Like, they didn't belong in the NFC Championship game. I said it leading up to they don't belong in that game. And it got proven the Eagles boat raced them. They didn't belong. They got in that game because of just a incredible tornado of injuries on the deep. That's the only reason they're in that game. So, very similar. Les, if you want to talk about the one good year the Giants had, and convinced themselves that, hey, we're heading in the right direction because they won a playoff game against a really bad defense. And then they came into Philadelphia, and it wasn't, divisional round.
Yep.
And they got boat raced, but they said, hey, we're close. No, you weren't close. So it depends on the people that thought Washington was a legitimate Super Bowl. Yeah, I think they're skipping steps. I still think they're a good team. If Green Bay isn't as good as they, I'm going to get a lot of I'm a Green Bay fan. Look, they're just fucking good.
No, there's no doubt. I mean, I don't know why. I don't think fans should have a hard time saying that. That's going to be that's going to be the Eagles' biggest challenger in the NFC.
Oh, no question.
Yeah.
No question. Again, injuries, same thing with Detroit last year, can derail everything. But barring injuries,
I still, I don't know. I guess it's going to sound Eagle color glasses because I'm the Eagle fan, but I do feel like the Eagles are still built to beat that team. I mean, they got the offensive line to mitigate that Green Bay pass rush, and the Eagles have such a good running game that I think that's a great equalizer in a game like that as well. Now, obviously, the ball bounces many different ways. A lot of different things happen. The war of attrition. We all know how much context goes into football, but that's going to be a great matchup, John. The Eagles and the Packers in the NFC all year long.
Yeah, I mean, that's the team you got to keep your eye on. And obviously they're going to play each other. And that'll be a good good temperature where everybody's out. But I think the way it's shaping up, you have to play a specific way to beat Green Bay. And the Eagles are capable of it. And that's get the lead, shorten the game, and make sure you remain the entire game. Like the last thing you want is to be down 2 scores. And I don't care if it's first quarter, fourth quarter. I don't care if it's the first quarter. I don't care if it's 10-0. You don't want to be down 2 scores against that team.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd rather have Lane Johnson dealing with
because then they can just pin their ears back and just come for the quarterback all day long.
Exactly. And that's what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And already you see Jeff Hapley, who I kind of, when they hired him, I was on record saying, yeah, I was like, really? You're going to hire
I remember
Jeff
because his first game was versus the Eagles in Brazil.
Yeah, and I was like, which by the way wasn't great from a defensive perspective for them, even with all the turnover worthy plays. But yeah, I didn't like that hire, but he's like already like he's moving Micah inside. Like people are saying, well, you got Lane Johnson. Yeah, they're just going to move him. They're just going to move him over freaking Tyler Steen.
Yeah, right.
That's what they're going to do.
And they moved him inside quite a bit last night.
And remember, they're not playing him they're ramping him up.
Yeah.
He's not playing what he's going to play, which is the vast majority of snaps. Which the Cowboys did a little bit, but they didn't take advantage of it.
What'd you think of the Green Bay offense? Like, and again, I think they're good, but boy, they really look to pass that ball downfield, and it's good. But I do wonder. I do wonder to some extent, though. You got to be a little bit more of a balanced attack. Now, Jordan Love hit my favorite throw of the night was actually the injury that Jaden Reed got, where I think he broke his collarbone. But that was such a good throw by Jordan Love, that deep ball. What'd you get the Green Bay offense?
How good was Tucker Kraft in that game?
Oh man.
My God.
I love the way he plays, John. I love the way he plays.
They had that big pass down, that great catch from Heath. Yeah, they throw the ball. They're a hell of a lot more fun to watch because they throw the ball down the field. But to your point, that's not always the best thing to do. Now, Josh Jacobs is very good. He's not Saquon Barkley, but nobody is. But he's very good.
Like a runner for sure.
Yeah. It's not like they don't have a running game. He had 1,300 yards last year. So they're very well rounded. I get, there are moments where Love still doesn't make the right decision, gets a little bit inaccurate, throws the ball, again, is always looking for the big play. So they got to tighten some stuff up if they want to win the Super Bowl. But there are very few people with the arm talent of Jordan Love. Like, and we'll see how it works, but like, there's no reason that he can't be a superstar quarterback. None. If you develop him correctly. Now, another thing I want to bring up, I don't know if you saw Tom Brady on Colin Cowherd, but Brady just drops knowledge occasionally on the quarter. And
I didn't see it yesterday. I saw the clip, but I never clicked on it.
Oh my God, you got to listen to it. Yeah. Because, Colin's making the stupid, you got to make a decision on a quarterback by Thanksgiving of year 2. And Tom went off on a tangent. It's like,
oh man, I got to listen.
Yeah. Now, Tom was talking about, again, the development of quarterbacks. And he destroyed a lot of people. And then Kurt Warner chimed in, which I think is interesting because Kurt Warner's a Hall of Fame quarterback. And Tom was talking about his development and how the Patriots developed him. And one of the things was, and maybe this is just the silver lining of a terrible situation. I think it was year 2. He was talking about their quarterbacks coach had a heart attack and passed away. So that's obviously a heartbreaking situation. Right. At the time, so Belichick took over and not took over the position, but he went into the quarterback room every single week. And Tom said, he taught me, maybe the best defensive coach of all time. He taught me this, Tom, I'm paraphrasing,
right.
how to read coverages, what to do with coverages. All right, this is cover one. This is the strength. This is what you don't want to do. This is what you want to do. This is the weakness. Cover two, quarters, everything. Nobody does that.
I don't get why. But why?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody. And Kurt Warner chimed in again. Hall of Fame career, played long time. Not once in his career did anybody do that for him. So it's not like you can't be successful, but nobody does that. So people throw in, and I go back to the O'Connell quote all the time: organizations fail young quarterbacks more than young quarterbacks fail organizations. That's what he said. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. But, so he's got to develop more. That's a long way of saying he's got to develop more, and he's got to get. But you've seen it here with Jalen Hurts. Guess what? Sometimes they do. And there's nothing to stop him from being one of the best 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the NFL, but he's not there yet. So it's fair to say that. I'm just that team looks different to me, because all NFL teams are, I say it all the time. You're talking about the differences, the top 5, 10 players on the roster, each side. That's what makes the Eagles the Eagles. They look different. They look like Detroit looked before the injuries last year. Detroit didn't win. So it's not over. It's week 2.
People think that, and they act like you're saying they're going to win the season.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, guys, it's football. We all know a lot of things can happen. John's just pointing out they're a good football team. They are a good football team. We all like good football, don't we? I mean, I thought they were great. They were fun to watch.
I know what I'm going to get. Believe me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already seeing it in the chat.
For people that actually listen, they know what I'm talking about. Those are the people I'm talking to. Like, I don't care who wins. I know. Here's what people, because I know this too. Like, because they're so passionate about one particular team, they just can't register that someone could be non-passionate and say, all right, this team's good, this team's not, this team's this and this team's that. Like, it doesn't matter to me if the Green Bay Packers win. It doesn't matter to me if I'm wrong and they all of a sudden lose 15 straight games. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, that's not.
I thought it was a bad. I said it the day we did the Parsons trade. I said, I don't like this for the Philadelphia Eagles from the standpoint of, oh yeah, he's out of the division, but this makes Green Bay, the biggest hurdle, and it has. It's already evident, and it's only going to get better because he's not even up to full speed. And then to the point I've been saying for years, how much the Eagles talk about Micah Parsons behind the scenes, how much they love the player. And, all of a sudden the news comes out that how he's trying to give up 2 first-round picks, a player, a third, a fifth.
Yeah.
So, if you're paying attention, all of this shit is coming to fruition. And it's all Jerry Jones's fault. Like, you can't, as the Dallas Cowboys, you can't trade that guy to the Green Bay Packers. You can't trade him to the Philadelphia Eagles either, if you're Jerry Jones, if you're being fair. But you can't trade him to the Green Bay.
Well, I thought the best piece of context that you gave on that was, I forget who you used as, the 2 dynasties who were knocked off. I think you used the Cowboys in the 90s.
Yeah, Cowboys, Niners, yeah.
Yeah, 49ers, yep. They were knocked off by a conference opponent, not a divisional opponent. So you got to be careful. I mean, look, that Packers team is good. I will say, I don't think that Commanders team is going to be as good this year as people thought. We'll see what ends up happening with them. I thought Jaden Daniels was seeing ghosts. Now, part of that is because that Packers D-line was coming all night.
No, seeing ghosts means you're seeing pressure that's not there. He was seeing the pressure that was there.
That's true.
There's a big
difference. The ghost element was he was seeing it right away. Maybe he had another second.
It was there right away. Yeah. It was there right away.
All right, good stuff, Johnny Mac.
Poor Josh Connerly was just brutalized.
Yeah,
and hopefully he can.
Pencil didn't look too great either, to be honest with you. But Good game last night. Great game last night. We got to see two teams that could be a potential contender for the Eagles in the NFC. We will continue to see how the season unfolds for those guys. So a great Thursday night game to start off week 2 in the NFL. And now we prep, all right, for the Super Bowl rematch. The last time the Eagles faced the Chiefs, they whooped them, all right, 40-22, very indecisive fashion. They won Super Bowl 59 over the Chiefs. We all remember that day well. And now we are back here for week 2 of the NFL of the 2025 NFL season. It's a new week. It's a new team. It's a new season. And it's a new iteration of the Philadelphia Eagles. And they are set to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, who are also a new iteration. And I don't think they're as good. John, as we prep for this game, let's get into the injury report real quick. For both teams, some interesting things yesterday, John. Landon Dickerson's been upgraded. Looks like he's going to play. Dallas Goedert still questionable. Will Shipley, I'll let you talk about some of those Eagles guys. And then on the Chiefs side, the most important thing is Xavier Worthy was practicing.
Yeah, how about that?
I don't know if he's going to play. I don't know what that means.
I can't imagine he dislocated his shoulder. I can't imagine that they would put him out. But maybe they're that desperate. Because, again, they got some, Hollywood Brown is, the big traffic guy. When he went down, he hurt his ankle. He was a full practice. Everybody was Drew Tranquil had a good game. He got hurt, but he was a full practice. So everybody is on track to play for Kansas City, except Jalen Royals, who's not that important, and perhaps Xavier Worthy. And I can't imagine for the Eagles, I don't think you're going to see Dallas Goedert. You're obviously not going to see Tanner McKee again. He's still not using his right hand. So, and you're not going to see Will Shipley. Everybody else is going to play. Cameron Williams popped up with a shoulder, but he'd be inactive anyway. So, it's not going to affect game day.
Right.
And Landon, as you mentioned, upgraded to full. Jalix Hunt upgraded to full. So they're going to play, and Jalix, I think, is fine. Landon, I don't think it's about starting it. I think it's about finishing. Is it going to be like last week where Brett Toth has to tag in? So I think it's more about that. Just toughest guy in the world, as we all say, because he is, and he's going to play through stuff. So, yeah. But the three guys who haven't practiced this week, Tanner McKee, Will Shipley, Dallas Goedert, I do not think they're going to play, and I expect Tanner and Will to be ruled out today. Today's the final practice report. If Dallas can get out there, they might push it to Sunday. But he hasn't even been out there, so today will be key for Dallas Goedert.
Yep, going to be interesting, John. What do you make of Dallas Goedert? Real quick before we move on, we're going to get into some of the matchups in the game. We're going to run through, what the most important things to watch in this football game are, where the advantages, disadvantages are for the Philadelphia Eagles. But Dallas Goedert, John, I know you hate that word, made of glass.
He made of glass.
He does, man. It is pretty consistent, John, that he misses time for this team. Now, I'm not picking on the player. I like the player. I think he's a great tight end. But
I just find that amusing because he's such a physical player. Like from Eagles fans who say that, like, do you even watch the games? Because that's part of the problem. He's too physical a player. You look at when they beat Green Bay in the playoffs, he's inviting who I forget who was that Alexander, who he stepped armed into oblivion. I forget who the player was, but he just invited them to come up and try to tackle him. Yeah. And he had broken his forearm on that type of play earlier in his career. And I even had that discussion. I say it all the time. I go, he won Kyle Brandt's angry run goofy thing twice, and he's very proud of that. And he's just a very physical player. And sometimes that has caused injuries. And he acknowledged that. He verbalized, he's got to stop doing that. And then he did it again. He's just that kind of guy. It's his mindset. It's his DNA. Now, this is a sprained knee. And by the way, it's not long-term injury. He's not going to be on injured reserve. He's not. And, my understanding, they think he's going to play against the Rams. They're just being cautious. If it were later in the season, if they needed the game, if it was late in the season against Washington for the NFC East, he'd probably play. But I think they're just being cautious. So, and again, with injuries, a sprained knee is a sprained knee. Like, what, you know, I mean, Austin Eckler, like I just said, a torn Achilles is a torn Achilles. It went. You know, what are you going to do? So I think, you know, there's different types of injuries. Like that forearm I brought up, that's his own fault. Like, you got to be smarter. That is the stuff I would criticize him for. If you want to criticize him, which too many people do. Yeah, I just push back on the glass stuff. I'm like, watch the guy play.
Well, he is an injury-prone player. That's fair to say, right? I mean,
well,
I'm not
injury, the fact that, yes, that's fine. The glass stuff is what I push back on. Like, he's one of the toughest guys on the team. And he plays, and he's one of the most physical guys on the team. But part of it is, you know, and running backs talk about this all the time. You know, Barry Sanders, Saquon's a big football historian. You know, you step out of bounds. Don't take people on, you know. There's a lot of running backs who have them, oh, I'm going to run this guy over. Not necessarily. You know, if you got what you're going to get, go down, you know, to protect yourself. Same thing with quarterbacks. And there's an art to that, definitely. And I think Dallas doesn't have that art. I would agree with that.
Yeah. The thing that bothers me about Goedert, John, is I think he could be such a dom. Now, he is. He's damn good, but man, if he was healthy and out there all the time, and he played 10 games last year, 14 and 23, 12 and 22, 15 and 21, 11 and 20, and that's just the last 5 years. Now, he might miss week 2 here in 2025, but I think he could be what Tucker Kraft was last night every week for this team. Like, that's how good I think Goedert is. But it's hard to get in that type of rhythm with your offense when you're sporadically out there. And I think that's where, you know, it really does suck for the Eagles offense, because he's a great player. He's not really a reliable player.
Well, I know. And by the way,
you know, being a good player, though, is being available, you know?
Tucker Kraft had a phenomenal game. But I mean, there's a, you know, and I think a lot of people look at that and say, well, I wish I had that. You know, Tucker Kraft is a young player that's emerging. You know, his largest season, he's only played, this is only his third season. He had 50 catches for 707 yards last year. I mean, Dallas has beaten that 3 of the past 4 years.
No, he hasn't. How many yards? 707?
707. Yeah.
Goedert had 496 last year, 592 and 20.
No, well, catches I was talking about.
Okay, catches.
Catches, he's 56, 55, 59. So, you know, and again, he's missed time in all 3 of those seasons. So you can imagine 2021, he didn't miss that much time. That was his best year. He might have been up near 1,000 yards that year.
Yeah.
Close to it. Then he missed 5 games in 2022, still had 55 catches. He missed 3 games in 2023, still had 59 catches. So, you know, there's a lot of, okay, he had a big game. Tucker Kraft had a big game yesterday. Phenomenal game. Let's be honest. You know, we got to see that consistently before.
I agree with that. I'm not saying he's a better player overall.
Talking about it. But the second part is, and I had to look it up, but I remember he tore his pec, and he's, you know, whatever, 24, 25, somewhere in that range. Tore his pec. Sometimes shit happens. You know, when you're a big physical guy like Tucker Kraft and you're lifting, and maybe you go a little bit too far and you tore your pec. He tore it in May of 2024. So, you know, he was able to get back and play. But the point of the injury I'm talking about is, what if that happens the same thing happens in September. And that's why injuries are, again, we talk about context all the time on this show. You got to be very contextual with injuries. Sometimes it's bad luck. Sometimes it isn't, but you got to be very contextual with injuries. Like last night, somebody blows out their Achilles. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
If anybody figured out how to prevent that, they'd be making a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I got you. I agree. I'm just saying, I don't think Tucker Kraft is a better overall player than Goedert, but I think
he might be. I'm not even saying he might be if he continues that.
Not yet, though. I mean, to your point, not yet.
He hasn't proven it yet. He hasn't proven it yet, but he's damn good. I'm not trying to disparage him. He looks like a monster, and he looks like he's taking that next step.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the rest of the NFC.
Yeah, good stuff. Johnny Mac, let's dive into some of the matchups in the game here. Speaking of, we just gave the injury rundown. It will be interesting to see if Xavier Worthy can go this week for the Kansas City Chiefs. That will change the way they can play the game a lot. So we'll see if he can go. I'm with John. That feels far-fetched to me, but he was practicing. So, hey, maybe he will be out there. We'll keep our eye on Xavier Worthy and the injury report from the Kansas City Chiefs. Another one should come out today. Excuse me. And we will get that update for you guys. John, one of the key matchups here in this game, obviously, as it always is in every single football game that's played, as you watched unfold last night on the Thursday night game, is pass rush versus the offensive line. And I'm talking specifically about that Kansas City Chiefs pass rush. I think they have an advantage, John, with Landon Dickerson being banged up, Tyler Steen, and Cam Jurgens, who is obviously the most steady force right now in the middle there. But Chris Jones in that middle, what do you think of that Kansas City Chiefs pass rush going up against this Eagles offensive line?
Well, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say that's a deficiency of Kansas City, who I think is a declining team. I've been pretty consistent with that, but I do, I think the Eagles are fine. I don't sit there and, like, to me, it's not, again, people are going to shit on me because all the Green Bay stuff. It ain't Green Bay. it ain't bringing that hellstorm. Chris is a very good player, but he's an interior player. The Eagles probably handle interior guys better than anybody. If you go back to the days of Aaron Donald, because they have such a good plan. Talk about coaching. They have such a good plan with players like that. They never see one-on-ones. They always make sure they got multiple bodies on them. So they generally, I don't worry as much about interior rushers. Now, the edge guys can give them some problems at times, especially when they move around. Karlaftis is pretty good, but, he's not somebody who's going to scare Jordan Mailata or Lane Johnson. So, yeah, I think that's a good matchup from the Eagles' perspective. And you saw it in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, mainly it was the other side, Kansas City not being able to block Philadelphia. But, yeah, they weren't getting pressure either. So,
Part of that Jalen Hurts too, right? I mean, he doesn't stand in the pocket type of quarterback. You know what I mean? He
that too. You have to be very well. That's the problem with somebody playing at the level of Jalen Hurts, who's got mobility. So you have to be very disciplined, but you also have to generate the pass rush, and it's really difficult to generate a great pass rush, especially against a really good offensive line when you have to be that disciplined. You almost have to freelance, and you can't do it. Because you saw that with Dallas. I mean, he'll just step outside and bang, there's 8-9 free yards. So that's kind of the level he's playing at. But yeah, I don't look at Karlaftis as their best edge rusher, I would say, and he's a good player. He's not great though, So yeah, I still think that's a big advantage for the Eagles, even with Landon being banged up.
Yep, no doubt about it, John. Go to the flip it to the other side now. Eagles pass rush against that Chiefs offensive line. I read the name out yesterday. I keep forgetting. Oh, Kingsley Suamatai, John. I think Kingsley's in for a long night. All right, on this one, he's their left guard, and then they have who's that guy? They have their left tackle, the rookie, Josh Simmons.
Josh Simmons, who was not
Josh
good.
Simmons.
And Juwan Taylor.
Their best guys are the center Creed Humphrey, and then Trey Smith is their right guard, I believe. So those are their two best guys in the interior of the offensive line. But just your thoughts on that Eagles D line, kind of the new look D line with the addition of Zadarius Smith, or at least an improved D line, we hope, with the addition of Zadarius Smith. How do you see that matchup on the other side? Eagles D line versus that Kansas City Chiefs O line.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how much Zadarius is going to play. I think he's going to play. I think he's going to play similar to what Green Bay has done with Micah Parsons, mainly on third and obvious passing situations. I think he's going to play. But, I'm interested to see because, I don't see that as a situation where without Smith that was a strength for the Eagles this year. Zadarius, I'm talking about. Maybe, he's got something left in the tank and it improves. So that would obviously I've been talking about it for a long time. That was a position I was very concerned with. I think they at least have a guy who's going to, especially with Jaylen Carter on the field, that's going to be able to do some things. So I think it's going to, it might not be immediate, but I think it's going to be long term. I think it's going to really, really help the Eagles defense. And I think Vic's pretty happy about that. But they got to get there, and they got to persevere before they get there. But they've been very good about persevering. May not be pretty, but they generally find a way to win.
No doubt, John. I'm thinking the whole Eagles defensive line in this game is going to be significantly better than week one because Jaylen Carter's back. Makes Jordan Davis's life easier, makes Moro Ojomo's life easier, and so on and so forth. Then you add Zadarius Smith, who, even if Zadarius Smith doesn't contribute, if you just have J-Lux and Nolan like you did last week, they're going to be better because Jaylen Carter's in the middle. So add Zadarius on top of that. I think it's going to be a much different looking D-line this week for the Eagles.
Well, I agree with that. It's like, if Chris Jones isn't there for Kansas City, they're not nearly as good. But I think it's similar to Chris Jones as well. And from the standpoint of, I just talked about Kansas City, Karlaftis is okay, although evidently I'm looking at he didn't play well last week. Omenayu is okay, but they're not standout players. So sure, they're better when Chris Jones is on the field, and that's the vibe I got with the Eagles where they were going. Yeah, okay, they're okay, but they don't have the guy. And I'm not even trying to say Zadarius Smith is the guy, but he's closer to being the guy than what they have had. So I think it's going to improve them.
Yep, no doubt about it. I think the Eagles are much better positioned this week with that D line. I'm thinking Jordan Davis is going to have a good game too. He played a lot of snaps.
I don't know if he can play better. He played pretty well. That's one of the
well,
best
I think his role will change a little bit because
Carter's role,
he'll be able to be back in a little bit of a lesser role, which might allow him to be even better from play to play.
Well, I don't know about better, but that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he's not going to have to play as much, so that'll be easier on him. But he played at such a high level. That's what I don't know if that's sustainable.
Yeah, but how many yards did the Cowboys run for? Didn't they have like a 5 yards per run in that game?
Yeah, but he wasn't the problem. Maybe the group. I'm just saying,
Well, that's what I mean. The group is going to make Jaylen Carter or Jordan, in my opinion, Jordan Davis even better against the run.
I'm just saying. I think he was the one guy you could point to and say, "Well, that guy held up." So that to me is like I'm talking individual performance. Like he's not going to play much better than he played last week. From an individual performance standpoint, the other guys. Moro specifically, now he'll be helped because he kind of wore down. It was pretty obvious. Like he shouldn't be playing. What he play 55 snaps. That really hurt him because he's undersized. So he wore down a little bit. Had to play too many rundowns, And now with Carter, you think about 4-man fronts, early rundowns, it's Jaylen Carter, Jordan Davis, and then you suit Morrow for his role. I think it's really going to help him.
Right.
And as you just pointed out, to Davis' standpoint individually, you got Creed Humphrey and this week as well, who's probably the best center in football. So, from an individual standpoint, I thought Jordan Davis was so good. He's probably not going to be much better than that. And that was one of the big stories of week 1. But I think Morrow's going to be a lot better with Jaylen Carter being back.
Where do you think Jaylen Carter will line up? You think he'll line up over Trey where he normally lines up, or do you think they'll move him over to Kingsley?
Yeah, they'll take advantage of it. Yeah, they'll definitely take advantage of.
Which means Morrow might not have a great game if he's lined up on Trey.
Well, yeah, I mean, not all. Morrow might be able to. It depends how you want to approach it. He might be able to whip them just as easily. So, you might want to go. All right, let me make things as difficult as possible for
Trey.
Yeah,
by putting Jaylen Carter.
So it's kind of like I brought up Belichick earlier. Like the mentality when everybody talks about traveling cornerbacks, they always thought, well, you got to follow Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson or CD Lamb. Everybody talks about that. Belichick's mentality was, no. I'm taking away your number 2. I'm completely shutting down one side of the field with my guy. In his case, it was Stephon Gilmore. He's completely shutting down one side of the field, so it makes it more difficult. So it depends how you want to go about it. And Vic, sometimes thinks about things a little bit more layered than most defensive coordinators, I would say.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting matchup there in the interior. That Chiefs O-line going to be interesting to see. Looking forward to that, John. Let's keep rolling on the matchups I'm watching in this game, and we'll do it on both sides like we just kind of did with the O-line and the pass rush. Let's go wide receivers in the secondary in this matchup. We'll start with the Eagles secondary and those Chiefs wide receivers with Rashee Rice obviously out serving a suspension. Xavier Worthy is questionable. The Chiefs are real thin, John, at receiver, making life really hard on Patrick Mahomes. I think Travis Kelce's regressed a little bit due to age. I mean, Father Time waits for nobody. How do you see the Chiefs attacking this Eagles secondary where, admittedly, they do have a weak spot? If you're Mahomes, there's a spot on that secondary you're going to target, and it's going to be that Adoree Jackson spot. What do you expect in that matchup?
Yeah, I don't, well, I don't want to be disrespectful to the Chiefs, but there's no concern about these receivers. And they don't generally play on time. And by that, I mean the ball's not coming out on time because of the quarterback. And that's what you have to watch for. That, to me, is the biggest issue for the Eagles is you got a plaster in this game, which means when it goes off schedule, that's when Kansas City can hurt you still. And you saw it against the Chargers if you watched the opener in Brazil. He was still making those magical plays outside the pocket. That's where you have to be careful. Like, you almost want them to be on schedule because these guys aren't going to hurt you. They're just not. Now, maybe when Rashee Rice comes back and Xavier Worthy, when he gets healthy, again, I don't think he's going to play. Maybe it gets better. But you saw the broken coverage with Travis Kelce. Again, off schedule. You got to worry about it. This is a big plaster game. You got to assume the play isn't over and stick to your guy when things break down, because that's when they're liable to hurt you. And from their standpoint, they also have to have, for them to win this game, they have to have a big game from Pacheco. And by that, I mean, they got to stay ahead of the sticks. Like, they can't.
I don't know if Pacheco's that guy, John.
Oh, he's that guy staying ahead of the sticks. He's not explosive, but, I'm talking 5-6 yards, like early in the Cowboys game. Same thing. I'm not talking about
Yeah, you're talking second and third and short for the Chiefs.
Yeah. Stay on phase, as they call it. Stay ahead of the sticks. If and that's where Jawan Taylor hurts you. Like, you get a false start, they're cooked. They're cooked. Unless it's off schedule. So they have to play on phase to win this game.
And then how about the Eagles receivers, John, in this matchup? How do you think they attack? Obviously, one of the talking points coming out of the game last week was not a lot of receiver action in that football game. Only 4 catches for, I think, 24 yards between the two dominant receivers, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown for the Philadelphia Eagles. What do you expect for them in this game, and how do you see that matchup? I know they got Trent McDuffie, who's a very good corner, but outside of him, it gets a little more spotty. What do you think of those Eagles receivers in the matchup in this game?
Well, history says that when they have those types of games where AJ or Devontae don't get the football, they're going to get them the football early. Now, both of them didn't get the football. So, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say they try to get them involved early because they're very cognizant of shutting us up, which I think is silly, but nonetheless, history says they do it. So yeah, I think they're going to be more involved. But as I always say, this is not a high volume passing offense. So also factor in that as well. And then you have to factor in, how badly did the Super Bowl scar Steve Spagnuolo? I can't imagine he's rolling out.
Scarred him, but what's he going to do?
Well, I can't imagine he's rolling out the same game plan. So if he's not loading the box and all of a sudden Saquon gets started, the Eagles are going to lean more on that. So I'm just talking about from an Eagles perspective.
Yeah. Oddly enough, how much can he take from what Matt Eberflus did last week with the Cowboys? I thought that was a good – outside of them forgetting that Jalen Hurts had legs and could run and Jalen just easily kept moving the sticks that way, I think there was a lot actually that he could take from that. Now, maybe Spags puts his own spin on that. Maybe he keeps a spy for Jalen Hurts. I think that's it. That's
what I do. Everybody said, well, you're going to copy what Spags does. I told you, I don't understand that. Why in God's name would you copy what he did? I'm copying what Eberflus did, but emphasizing the discipline on the pass rush. Like, you've got to be very disciplined on the pass rush. So take away the first read. Stay disciplined in the pass rush. Keep Jalen pinned in the pocket. But, then can you stop Saquon that way? Dallas did. They played a lot of heavy boxes with zone behind it. That's what I would do.
Good stuff there, Johnny Mac. We'll see how they end up attacking in this game. Should be a good one. I'm excited to see how the Eagles offense looks. Week number 2 of the Kevin Patullo era as the offensive coordinator. Should be a good one there. John, let's continue to roll on. You kind of touched on this a little bit, but I still want to dive into it a little bit deeper. Tight end and backfield production with Dallas Goedert potentially out in this game. That will be interesting. You go over to the Chiefs. They have obviously one of the best tight ends of all time in Travis Kelce, who is on the other side of the peak of his career, I would say. Starting with that Chiefs offense, John, how do you mitigate him? Because I don't think he's that great, but he's really what Mahomes has. I mean, Mahomes is, throwing to Tyquan Thornton out there in this game. So he's going to need to rely on Kelce a little bit. If you're the Birds, what's the approach there defensively?
Plaster, just like I said, same thing. I mean, that's even when Travis Kelce with the height of his career, he and Mahomes had that chemistry. He does a lot of stuff you're not supposed to do. They talk about it all the time. He's allowed to freelance. Generally, freelancing is very bad in the NFL. The first rule for any receiver in this league is don't fool the quarterback. In other words, be where you're supposed to be. In the case of Mahomes and Kelce, it's always been the opposite. So what normal tight ends do in certain routes. Not Kelce might do the exact opposite. He's told these stories on his podcast. And he would look over at Andy early in his career and say, oh boy, is he going to be pissed at me? and he was until it started working. And, you got to have both sides. So, Mahomes has a good feel for what he's going to do. And they have that chemistry, which is only built up over years and years and years of being together. So, same thing, plaster. Assume, like, he's not athletic enough at this stage to be Brock Bowers or Tucker Kraft you saw last night.
Yeah, right.
But he's gonna, and you saw it against the Chargers. Broken coverage, there he is. That's what you have to worry about. So, and like Jihad Campbell, if you're going to use a linebacker, and I don't think they will, I think mainly they'll use a safety, but occasionally you get matched up. Like, obviously, he's athletic enough to handle it, but is he savvy enough to handle what he's going to see? Most rookies wouldn't be. So, things like that. But you got to, like, the only thing I'm concerned about with the Kansas City offense is off schedule stuff. That's it.
And that's what Mahomes can do. I mean, Mahomes, obviously, it's still Patrick Mahomes you're playing against. He's the one guy that they do have over there. You mentioned what, John, with Pacheco and the running game for them. They got Pacheco, they got Kareem Hunt, who, I mean, I don't know what to make of how much impact he can make on this game, but it's as simple as they got to use them to stay on, what'd you call it, on schedule? No, you said
well, yeah, on phase as well.
On phase, yeah.
Yeah, but ahead of the stakes on schedule, it all works. But, Kevin's going to say a lot of on phase because that's what the Eagles use. So sometimes they use that.
Yeah, right. We'll see how the Chiefs' running game is going to go. Excuse me, in this game, John. Eagles tight ends. No Goedert potentially. We don't know for sure yet, but I'm assuming he's not going to play. Calcaterra and Granson going to get more looks in this game. Remember, Goedert was not the leading receiver in the game, but he had the most catches in week number 1. They did target the middle of the field a little bit more than we were used to from last season. How do you expect Jalen to manage the loss of Dallas Goedert in this game? And then how much more does that potentially put on the running game and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles have been through this before, and generally they don't get a lot of production when Dallas is out from the tight end position. Grant Calcaterra, I do think, had a good spring, good summer. Seems to be getting better, certainly better as a blocker. But there hasn't, as I said, there hasn't been a ton of production, so you can't exactly count on it. So, that's is what it is. You're a little bit better with Colin Granson as a third tight end moving up to number 2. They've been working with Cam Latu a lot. Changed his number because he's going to be sort of an H-back now. What they lost Ben Van Sumeren. I think he's going to get elevated because they're going to use him on special teams as well. But yeah, on paper, you're not very good at tight end without Dallas Goedert. Let's be honest.
John, with Will Shipley out, you got Barkley, you got A.J. Dillon, and you got Tank Bigsby. Now, I know you've talked about how you don't really think his role is going to be predominantly in the offensive side of the ball. They like Will Shipley. Well, Will Shipley's not out there this week. You think Tank Bigsby has any impact on this game as a running back, not necessarily as a kick returner? What do you think of that coming into this matchup for Will Shipley?
No. Well, if he does, it's for a very bad situation, and that's obviously what you don't want to happen. I mean, it's early in the season. Saquon's going to do most of the work. AJ will fill in. From the standpoint of he's not going to know the offense coming in this week. So it's easy to put somebody back there on kickoff. I do think he'll be the primary kickoff returner. It's easy to put somebody back there, say, all right, just return the kick. But in the offense, especially third down, remember what you'd be using him for. He's not a third down back. He's not a good pass catcher, not a good pass protector. So he's more of the backup if you want to take some of the workload off Saquon. And that'll be A.J. Dillon. Now, long term, yeah, maybe he could get involved, but certainly not a week in and certainly not to replicate Will's role. And then there's I think a lot of people just look at the numbers with Bigsby and say, well, he had 800 yards or whatever he had. Not a good pass catcher. I was talking to people in Jacksonville. A couple drop passes that turned into turnovers. He's had 6 fumbles, which is very ball security. This is a very ball security conscious team. So they're going to work with him. They're going to ramp him, but they're not going to throw him out there at Arrowhead.
Is that a concern on the kick returns, you think?
A little bit. Yeah. Anytime you have somebody with ball security, but
right.
Again,
because that'll really flip the field too, if you think about it. I mean, you don't want to be fumbling kick returns given the
yeah. Well, it's funny. So he was back there Wednesday taking kick return reps first when he fumbled. But look, I think they're very cognizant of his history. And he's going to have to prove himself that, because ball security is most important. But I think, and other guys AJ will be back. Remember, they have dual kickoff returners. So, AJ Dillon will be back there. John Mechie will be back there as well. And we'll see how it works out. But I'm sure they're a little bit interested to see if he, how bad this ball security issue thing is with him.
Yep, good stuff there, Johnny Mac. John, a couple other comments here as we kind of look at the keys to the game here. Eagles versus Chiefs in hour number 2. We're going to talk to Les Bowen. I will get to our super chats. Alfredo, I see you, brother. Don't worry. I will get to your super chat. Unfortunately, Alfredo, I love you, brother, but a $2 chat's not enough to knock me off the things I wanted to talk about here to start the show. Love you, brother. I appreciate you. John, keep rolling here. Quarterback play, the last thing to talk about before we talk about a little bit of special teams and maybe some hidden factors in the game. But quarterback, they do have the great equalizer, John. They do have Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he is obviously what he is. 3 Super Bowls, 5 appearances, only going into his 9th season here. I think he's going into his 9th season. Maybe it's his 10th season now. He has the ability, John, to be the equalizer in any football game. Now, he can't do it alone, so I have a hard time thinking he can do that this week. But what do you make of the quarterback play coming into this game?
Yeah, I mean, I look, I don't think Kansas City has a lot, and that's one of the things. One of my pet peeves is people boiling games down to quarterback versus quarterback, and I think you're seeing it with Patrick Mahomes. He's still a great quarterback, but he's not in a situation where he can perform to the level he has been because his supporting cast has started to atrophy. And you've already seen it in Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes. He played 2 of his worst games in Super Bowl losses against Tampa Bay, against Philadelphia. Both instances, they could not block the defensive front. And guess what? He's not Superman, but he's one of the best quarterbacks in football. He remains that. And you saw it, he's still making plays that impact games and keep them in games like in Brazil. They shouldn't have been in that game, but he's pulling a play out of his you-know-what. And keeps him in the game. And that's what he's capable of doing more than most. Still more than most. But right now, until he gets Rashee Rice back, until Worthy is healthy, he's got some issues. Let's be honest.
No doubt about it, Johnny Mac. Going to be tough sledding for Patrick Mahomes in this game with few weapons. The Eagles' defensive line's coming at him, and I don't know who's throwing that ball to. But we'll see. John, then you got Jalen Hurts on the other side, obviously, the Eagles' quarterback, Super Bowl MVP last year, who gashed them in that Super Bowl game. As you mentioned, Spags earlier in the show. He might be the one seeing shadows on Jalen Hurts coming into this game. Hurts is obviously dual threat. John can beat him in many different ways. How do you expect Jalen to impact this game week 2 versus the Chiefs?
Yeah, well, he's always very impactful, obviously, to the Philadelphia Eagles. And, it'll look different. And that's, Saquon had a good quote about numbers yesterday. which I thought, in the moment, I'll try to bring it up at some point, but in the moment, I'm thinking to myself, well, it's easy for Saquon to say numbers don't matter, like I say all the time, because he gets all the numbers, versus, some guys who are impacted by it. But it is true, and he had mentioned he's had he personally has had 2,000-yard seasons from a yards per scrimmage rate, his rookie season with the Giants and last season, obviously. And he said he liked one a heck of a lot more than the other, but the numbers were still impressive as a rookie. So I get his standpoint, but yeah, I mean, this is a very unique team. I talk about it all the time. They play a different style of football than most. So I think it's tough for many people to wrap their heads around it. And they're going to continue to play that style of football. Why would you not? I mean, considering their success, why would you not? So I don't have much pushback other than we'll nitpick because that's what we do. But they have found a formula that works. And it's not always pretty. But generally, they're not going to be threatened by teams who can't match, at least be in the orbit of them from a talent standpoint. And that's how I look at this game. I know everybody's got the mentality of Kansas City being Kansas City because they've been good for so long. Things happen quickly in this league. And right now, Kansas City's up against it from a talent standpoint.
Yeah, they really are. No doubt about it. Johnny Mac, final couple thoughts here as we break down the game. We'll get to our super chats coming up next here. The hidden factors in this game, John, and then the special teams is something that can obviously always play an impact. We talked a little bit about Tank Bigsby in this game, penalties, turnovers, third downs, all those. You guys all know how those affect football games. But I want to ask you about, so much is made, John, of the Super Bowl rematch. And I know it's all promotional, but do you think any of that lives in that Chiefs locker room? I mean, Spags had nightmares about that Eagles game. And Patrick Mahomes got, for lack of a better word, got kind of embarrassed on the world stage in the Super Bowl in that game. It left a bad taste in all the Chiefs' mouth, without a doubt. How much of that, or is it none at all, is that a factor in this football game, do you think?
I don't think it's a factor from the standpoint other than, I mean, the people that were there, obviously for the people that weren't there, the new players, it doesn't matter much at all. But for the people that were there, I mean, certainly it means something to Patrick Mahomes. Travis Kelce had a really poor game. Spags had a really poor game from a coaching standpoint. Yeah, I'm sure they want to prove that, it's not going to be consistent and give the Eagles a tough road. So Jordan was talking about this yesterday. He was like, when they lost 57, he was like, it's a tough time getting over it. So I'm sure for the guys that were there, it's very impactful. How do you use it? And that could be good or bad if you get too worked up. But Mahomes has been through so many big games. Kelsey's been through so many big games. I think they're better equipped to handle that kind of stuff than most. I just think it comes down, and even in those situations if there is, like, if you're looking about this spot, like the Super Bowl's way down the list. My concerns about this spot, home opener, Arrowhead, difficult place to play, incredibly noisy. I was talking to Jordan about that as well yesterday. He's like, I said, the reputation of Arrowhead is pretty high up as far as noise goes. So I asked him, is that real? And he was like, it's real. And it's like, he said, it gets so loud, you get that ringing in your ears.
Yeah.
And he was trying to come up with the word. And I said, tinnitus. Yeah. And that's how loud it gets there. So
which can throw off an offense. I mean, can throw off.
God, yeah.
Call. Yeah. I mean, so
false starts are potentially in the equation. They always are for Kansas City, no matter where they play, because of Jawan Taylor. But Yeah, I mean that is more concerning. Like Kansas City doesn't. The home opener is going to be a big thing, even though I'm sure there'll be a ton of Eagles fans there, as there always are. But you can't take over Arrowhead. They'll have more than most, but you can't. It's just not possible. It's going to be hot, which is weird for this time of year in Kansas City. Really hot. And they don't want to start 0-2 for obvious reasons. So they're going to be playing with a tremendous sense of urgency. I pay attention to that stuff way more than Super Bowl rematch.
Right.
That to me is like TV stuff, and obviously they're going to play.
Promotional marketing, all that, no doubt about it. All right, Johnny Mac, great stuff, great breakdown of the game, guys. We just gave you guys at least some of what I laid out as my matchups to watch in the football game. Appreciate everybody for being here this morning. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Drop your comments down below. All super chats go to the top. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you're not a member on the channel, consider becoming a member. We did our first jersey giveaway yesterday on the channel. We did another giveaway after that, and we do have another giveaway coming up today after the show.
What was the jersey?
They get the pick. So it was actually James Carver one, but it's the defensive side. So I got this one right now. I got the Kelly Green Cooper, which you'll like. All right. I got the Cooper. So I got more defensive jerseys. Yesterday was the defensive jersey because of they gave up 20 or less. I think we're giving away another one of those after this week 2 game here. So, and I do have something to announce as well for the giveaways. So stay tuned on Zander Time. Anybody who becomes a member on the website today, all right, we'll be giving back to the channel, and all of those proceeds will go right toward, all right, extra bonus jerseys to give away on the channel. So appreciate everybody for being here today. Consider becoming a member. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments down below. Let's go to some super chats here. Brian Pumper checking in. Johnny Mac, here we go. Fellas, you know damn well the Chiefs got added motivation to face us. Patrick and the crew will be ready. Hopefully we can counter. I'm leaning Chiefs. Pump, you were leaning Cowboys too. And you were leaning Commanders last night. Come on, Pump.
Well, I admire. Look, I think even like I said, early in games, that might even be a thing. You know, sometimes you go on the road, you have to take that first punch, and then you settle down. It turns into a normal football game. I just think Kansas City's up against it from a talent standpoint. That's, I always lean talent more than all the other stuff. But I just said Arrowhead is real. The noise. It's a difficult place to play. I think it's going to be tougher than maybe some pie in the sky Eagles fans expect, similar to what I said with Dallas as well, and that was tougher. So I don't think it's going to be a blowout like the Super Bowl, but they got a lot of problems, Kansas City, right now.
They do. I don't think they're good enough. I don't think they're good enough to compete, especially early in the year. Maybe when they get some guys back, they'll be more positioned. But
yeah, exactly.
We will see. Alfredo checking in. What's up, Alfredo? Thank you, brother. He says, what time is practice today, John? So, John, give us the rundown on today's schedule for the Birds.
Oh, boy. Good question. Nick's going at 11:50-ish. I'm sure it'll be late, so don't tune in at 11:50. Practice is at 12:35. Locker room opens at 1:45 today. There you have it.
How have the locker room talks been? I know that's one of the things you guys do wait for, because you build relationships with players. That's kind of how you get more information, get better at what you guys do.
That's
how they been this year? Pretty good.
Yeah, it's the biggest part of my job is open locker room, to be honest. So never miss it. Some days are a slog more than others. Obviously, when things are going well, it's easier to get people to open up. But yeah, I mean, there's certain guys, AJ, Jordan Mailata, who are very good, and I like to try to talk to the younger guys and try to build those relations. So it's very key, not only for information gathering, but I think for the players as well to have a voice. And a lot of guys go like, well, I'll do it on my own podcast, but whatever. But yeah, it's always good. Certain players are good. Certain players aren't good. I'll talk about the players who are good. I won't talk about players who aren't very good.
Right.
But it's give and take.
Good stuff. Alfredo, appreciate
it. By the way,
it.
Ty Robinson already lost Brandon Graham's locker.
Oh no. Who'd they give it to?
This is that Darius Smith.
Wow.
There you go.
Ty Robinson.
If you don't think Za'Darius is going to be part of the group, he's going to be part of the group.
Oh my gosh. Ty Robinson gets booted in 1 week. Holy, Abe, not looking good for your boy Ty. All right, Abe. Unfortunately, not looking good for your boy Ty. All right, no.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I'm just messing. He's a 4th-round rookie, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with it. Lucius, the show becomes a member. Lucius, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. A JAKIB Legend member. Lucius, that's 5 entries into the giveaway, my friend. Thank you, brother. All right, we changed the way we do it. So if you're a Legend member, that gets you more entries for our giveaway. So thank you, brother. Eduardo Reza. What's up, Eduardo? Are the new Packers unis dubbed as white cheddar? That's actually not a bad name for them. Is that what they're calling them? I
have no idea. That's
they did look pretty. I know you're not a uniform guy.
That's not a Johnny Mac. That's a Jeff Kerr question.
Yeah, that is.
I always tell that story. Reuben Frank, I give him credit because he's the one who said it. If you asked me 10 minutes after the game what the Eagles wore, I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you. With the exception of Kelly Green, because they make such a big deal out of it during the weeks when they wear that, then I'm more cognizant of it. But yeah, I mean, on the list of my things to do, what the players are wearing is like number 2,457. Not a uniform guy. Although I will say the Kelly Green is better than whatever they wear, whatever it's called. What is it called?
Midnight Green.
Midnight Green. Kelly Green's better than Midnight. I will say.
You like you're a Kelly guy. I like Kelly. I was wondering if I like Kelly better as a special jersey than I would as a full time, but I don't know. A lot of people are kind of back and forth on that. I would be okay with either one that they went with. I don't mind the Midnight at all. JD3 checking in. What's up, JD3? How much do we expect to see Z Smith this week? I'm very excited for his role on the team, but I think it will take a few weeks to get rolling.
Yeah, he's gonna. You see it with Micah, similar to he's going to be limited. He's probably only playing third and long, third and obvious passing situations, and it'll ramp up as you go. But he didn't have an off season. He didn't have a preseason. So yeah, they're not going to throw him out there and let him play all 60 defensive snaps. It'll be a gradual thing, but he will play this week. And he knows what to do when it comes to rushing the passer. So that's one of those positions. Unlike running back, when we were talking with Tank Bigsby, you have to learn a lot as far as, especially if you're playing on third downs, as far as pass protection, as far as running routes, as far as where you need to be as an outlet receiver. Pass rusher, it's like, go get the quarterback. And you want him to be disciplined. So there's a little bit of nuance to that, but much easier to get a pass rusher on the field.
Yep, no doubt, especially a guy that has as much experience and time in the league as Darius Smith. So, JD3, good question, brother. I appreciate you for being here. Appreciate everybody for being here today. Going to be a good game this weekend. Looking forward to it. John, before we get to Les Bowen, we're going to get to Les in hour number 2 here, coming up in about 5 minutes on the show. We missed him yesterday, but he'll be with us today. Not very many other good games in week 2, John, but week 2 NFL slate. What sticks out to you? You got Giants, Cowboys. I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but not a whole lot. Yesterday was really the good game.
Yeah, it wasn't as good a slate, I recall, as week 1. Let's see. Let me pull it up. There's a couple games. I know Houston and who's Houston playing? Oh, the Bucs. That's interesting. I think they're 2 good teams. So that's Monday night. It's one.
Yeah, that's good.
They have a.
Is there a doubleheader? Oh, we got a doubleheader.
Yeah, they have a staggered. I hate that, by the way.
Yeah,
those 2 Monday night games. I
mean,
don't
the
like
Monday night game, Chargers Raiders starts at 10 p.m.
10 o'clock. You think I'm staying up for that? Come on.
10 o'clock?
Come on, NFL.
The NFL is happy about that.
They're happy because they're getting paid. That's all it's about.
Yeah, but don't they need the ratings to be high? I mean, you want the ratings to be high. That's how you can keep getting paid.
They're not struggling with ratings, man. I don't know if you've seen the PR releases, but man,
it's pretty crazy.
So that to me is the big. I thought last night's game would be the biggest game of the week. Didn't turn out that way. It was too one-sided. It was way more one-sided than the final score indicates. It was 27-18, but Green Bay just dominated that game. So I think Bucks Texans is the best matchup left, and I think from a perception standpoint, I think it's Eagles Chiefs, but I just don't think the Chiefs are what they were. So I don't, I'm talking on field. I think Bucks, Texans, but a lot of potential blowout games. Like I think the Ravens, after what happened to them, they might boat race the Browns at home. I think the Cowboys, because of what happened to them, are going to put the Giants over their knee. I think the Lions, because of what happened to them, are going to destroy the Bears at home. A lot of these potential blowout games.
What's up with the JJ McCarthy led Vikings getting this? He got 2 back-to-back primetime. He's the Sunday night game versus the Falcons.
Well, yeah, he's not ready. By the way, the fact that they gave him NFC Player of the Week is
it was a good comeback. Don't get me wrong.
It was a great comeback.
Persevered, but you're right. He's got some issues to iron out for sure.
It was a great comeback. Don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, and you like the pluckiness and all that bullshit, and because most guys would have just crawled in a hole. He was playing so poorly. But I got to look it up. He did not play well on a play-to-play basis. So PFF had him at 24 of the 32 starters, and that's about right. I mean, he played one good quarter.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't Chicago, they probably lose that game. And you're saying, but to the point of Monday night, Sunday night, I mean, they won 14 games last year. So that's what they base it on. So they're like, oh, well, this team's going to get national windows. So that's what they base that stuff on. But yeah, that should be a good game though, because Atlanta's pretty good, and they lost in Minnesota. That's their home opener, and people think they're good, and they do have a good roster, but the quarterback is going to be a problem. He really is. But we'll see. I mean, Kevin O'Connell is one of those guys that seems like he gets how to talk to quarterbacks and develop quarterbacks. So
which basically is another way of saying he knows how to butter them up the right way.
Well, no, I think he helps them get better.
You said earlier, we're teaching them defenses and stuff like that. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that Daniel Jones was out talking about it. He didn't even play, and he was talking about how much he helped them, and he played great in his first game at Indy. And we'll see if that can continue. But no, I think he's one of those guys who does it right. But I just look at McCarthy. He doesn't look physically able to handle the position. I mean, maybe it's just me. Like he looks small.
That's how I feel about Jaden Daniels, dude.
Well, he's definitely small. There's a concern, but I mean, there's a different level of athleticism.
There's a different level of talent, I would say there.
Playmaking ability, slight difference, I would say. So no, but he's definitely slight, but he's able to overcome it. But yeah, you're concerned long term about, like, if he takes some of the hits he took yesterday. I don't know if he's going to hold up, but the good thing about that is you don't have to play Micah Parsons every week. So, But yeah, that was an ugly performance by the Washington Commanders. Not nearly as close as 27-18 would indicate. They got run off the field.
Good stuff there, Johnny Mac. John, great stuff. We got Les Bowen coming up here in a couple minutes here.
Yeah, Les confirmed, so he's ready to go. He should be here.
All right, good. Hopefully, he got my email too. I'm having some email issues this week. I had to fix. I've been working on it.
Doesn't have the link.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my
what
goodness!
Should I tell him? Check your spam.
Let me send it again here. I sent it from a different email so it wouldn't go to spam. Les Bowen. I just forwarded it again, so.
Forward it to me. I'll try to send it to him.
I'll forward it to you. I forwarded it to you too. We should get Les up here in a second.
All right. Are we going to break?
Yeah, I'll take a quick break. We'll get time for Les Bowen to come in here. Appreciate everybody for being here. Hit that like button. We'll be right back in 3 minutes, everybody.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the #1 digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Welcome back in, everybody, to a Football Friday edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports. I'm your host, Zander Krause. That's my co-host, John McMullen, and that's the great Les Bowen joining us right here on Birds 365. Les, how you doing on this Football Friday, brother? Great to see you.
Good to see you, Zander. Howdy, John.
Good to see you, Les. Some technical issues, but we got it done. We finally got the great Les Bowen. Good to Hey, did you watch last night's game at all?
Yeah, I watched parts of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched enough to get the gist, I think.
What do you think, man? I look at that Green Bay team, and I'm starting to say, wow, man, Jerry might finally win one.
The gist is that that defense is really formidable.
Yeah.
Offensively, they're okay. They had their ups and downs last night. I thought Love, despite his efficiency, missed some chances.
He missed some throws, yeah.
I don't think the running game is anything to really write home about. But defensively, really, really, really elite. It looks like to me, if Parsons can – Parsons is kind of in that just got to the new city, playing out of his mind. I mean, he's a great player, obviously, but I think it'll wear off a little bit. I think he's kind of in playoff form right now. But he's great, and then that the people around him are very, very good as well. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
Going to be interesting to see how that Packer team is. I don't know. I'm not fully sold that Jordan Love is as consistent as he needs to be, but he certainly got.
I don't know how you can be consistent. I think the dichotomy of the Packers versus the Eagles, all they do is throw it down the field. Yeah. And the Eagles in week 1 threw it 10 yards or more one time.
Right.
I think that it's interesting to see how they go about things, but we'll bring it back to the Eagles because we'll talk about that week 1 with you. But, we've had these games in the past, Les. We've all seen it. They're not a high volume passing team, so you're going to have these games occasionally. But I found when that game was over, I thought Jalen played a very good game. I thought he was very efficient. I thought he made the right decisions. But, if you just look at the box score, you see 152 passing yards, whatever it is. And it's like, how is that possible? Where are you in that? We've talked about it so many times, but I'm at the point where, hey, if you're successful doing that way, who cares?
Yeah, it kind of game by game, situation by situation, I think. In that game, it was really important not to turn the ball over. There was a low turn. There was only one turnover in the game, and it was the play of the game.
Yeah.
The fumble, the Miles Sanders fumble. I thought Jalen was very, very cautious. I thought there were a lot of times he dropped back and ended up not throwing the ball at all or rolling out and throwing it away. As wonderful a quarterback as he is, and as the team is the defending Super Bowl champions, but there are still things that you would like to see sometimes. I would love to see him roll out once in a while and reset and throw the ball rather than just throw the ball to a receiver rather than throw it out of bounds. Or maybe, that they could game plan a few slants and things like that where he's throwing in rhythm. 1, 2, 3, throw the ball. That doesn't ever seem to happen. There were things in that passing game that weren't ideal. It was efficient on his part. It was he took what they gave him. They didn't give him a lot. Dallas was better than I thought they'd be, frankly.
Me too, Les.
Yeah,
but it wasn't an overwhelming passing attack. I still don't really buy that A.J. Brown was 100%. But we'll see. We've got this tiny little nugget of data to go on so far.
Yeah.
We need some more games.
It's you mentioned the rhythm part of it because I agree. Is he just not that guy though? Is he? He's not going to be Tom Brady where the back foot hits the ground, the ball comes out on time. So. Is it smart to just build your offense around the strengths of the quarterback you do have versus?
Sure. It is absolutely yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not an X and O person, so it just I read a lot and I see criticism of their route structures a lot. They don't seem, especially against these zone defenses, they just don't seem to be able to scheme people open in a way that he's comfortable with. And maybe they need to do that, Well,
my question with it, Les, is like A.J. Brown's telling me he's zoned up, and I'm like, all right, you're still A.J. Brown, right? Like, does that mean you shouldn't be involved in the game at all? I'm with you on that.
Can't they run a rub route or something,
Well, they have tried, but they always get flagged for it. Yeah, they're not good with the rub route.
That's a coaching issue, I mean, other teams do it. I just don't get sometimes why they can't be a more effective passing team. But as long as it works, as you said, as long as they win, it's a subsidiary issue, certainly.
Yeah.
Les, what do you make of that corner spot on that going over to the defensive side of the ball? I think there's a lot to talk about on both sides, but the one that's been glaring all week in Eagle Land has been the talk about Adoree Jackson. How big of a problem is it in your eyes, and what do you think of it moving forward for this team?
Yeah, it was certainly a big problem against Dallas. really the whole game. I mean, I think he tried to indicate, because the overall defense got off the field in the second half a lot more, that he had played better in the second half. I don't really think he did. I think CeeDee Lamb dropped some balls, and
He did.
I didn't see a great improvement in Adoree Jackson's play. I was very disappointed. I kind of thought, I mean, I know he hasn't ever lived up to being a mid-first round draft pick as he was in Tennessee a good while ago now, but he's been a decent corner in his career, a reasonably good starting corner, and he wasn't against Dallas. And if he plays that way again, against Kansas City, I think that's their biggest, really their biggest problem going into this game, other than maybe not having Dallas Goedert, would be that Jackson just wasn't competitive there, and Patrick Mahomes will certainly find, even though Patrick Mahomes doesn't have great receivers.
No, that's the problem. It might look
Yeah.
good this week and people get too excited about it less. But, I think
if we get through this week, I think at some point Jacorian Bennett is going to be comfortable enough in the defense that Vic Fangio will trust him. At least I have no idea. I mean, I know Jacorian Bennett was well regarded in Las Vegas. Whether he can really be an upgrade, I'm not that astute, but I think that was the idea when they traded for him. So, if they can get through this week somehow, I think you're getting closer and closer to Bennett being the guy over there. But
you bring up Jacorian. That was the start of what has been an incredible churn of the back end of this roster. Not even back end when you talk about both. You talk about Jacorian. So Darius Smith is here this week.
Yes.
Tank Bigsby. I think we're at 6 or 7 trades in August. What do you make of that?
That's really interesting. And to me, it speaks to, after winning the Super Bowl, you lose people. And the Eagles lost some real talent, especially on defense.
Yeah.
They weren't able to adequately compensate for that in free agency and the draft. And I think there's sort of an opportunity at the start of the season when roles are being defined on other teams and guys are getting cut. And with Zadarius Smith, it's a simple matter of once you got past the first week, his salary isn't guaranteed.
Yeah.
So they might have intended to sign Zadarius Smith for the last 2 months, for all we know.
Well, he's definitely there the week prior. It was
Yeah.
in the works. So
but I think it's a good thing. I think they needed to do this. They had the most incredible roster in the history of the franchise last season. I just say that. I mean, I don't think anybody is going to say, "What are you talking about?" when I say that. And they weren't able to keep it all together. And the other thread on that cornerback thing we were talking about was Darius Slay and Isaiah Rodgers. They let And the Isaiah Rodgers thing, I know you're not supposed to, anymore. It's any questioning of Howie Roseman is strictly forbidden, but
it is an indictable offense now, Les.
Yeah, but Isaiah Rodgers, not that expensive, better than Adoree Jackson. I don't know. I clearly they expected Keely Ringo.
Yeah, that's the thing. They thought Keely Ringo, which everything in this league, Les, is about evaluation at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And they thought Isaiah Rodgers, because he has some size deficiencies and he'll get his opportunity. He's a starter in Minnesota, to prove them wrong. But they thought he's better suited to be a third corner, a backup corner.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't pay backup corners what he got. So I get the mentality.
True. Yeah.
But Keely Ringo didn't didn't win the job. And all of a sudden, you got the comp. He is better than Adoree Jackson, but that wasn't the plan. The plan was Kaylee Ringo.
Yeah.
And Kaylee Ringo kind of, what the bed. So,
and it's remarkable that it's not like, okay, he wasn't quite ready, but he's working and they're going to, he's going to be okay and they're going to get him out there. He's just out of it. As far as I can tell, he has no role whatsoever, and it's,
yeah. Well, he's one of their better special teams players, which,
that's what, yeah. But in terms of the defense,
he seems completely out of the defensive picture, which is, that's a disappointment. No doubt about it. And that's interesting though. You bring up Kaylee. So I like to talk about special teams more than most people. People probably roll their eyes, but one of the things I love, I don't know how much football you watched in week 1, Les, is the kickoff is back, man. 75% return rate. I think it's going to change the game. I think it's more exciting. I think it's very impactful from both avenues. You need a good kick returner, plus you need good kickoff coverage, or you're going to lose some games. Did you like it? What did you think about that? I think that's a rule change that's working.
Yeah, I like the result. I don't like to watch it. To me, it still looks like, after 60 some years of watching normal kickoffs, I wasn't adjusted yet to the changes they made a few years ago. To me, having guys all over the place, it looks like an ant farm or something. But I'm
with you. I'd rather have the traditional kickoff, but at least it's back in the game. That's how I kind of look at it.
But I might just kick it to the end zone and take the 35 if I were in charge of kicking off. I don't know. It just seems like there's always a chance of busting one now. And even at the 35, you're not that far away from a field goal.
Oh, that's a lot of field goal position. End of game situations. If you're, if you're up by a field goal and you're kicking off, boy, man, that's a tough to give up the 35 because you're like 2 plays away from field goal range. And that's another thing. These kickers, like a 50-yard kick now is like a 35-yard kick 10 years ago. It's unbelievable, the kickers.
Yeah, it really is. And certainly Jake Elliott, that was one of the big positives of the opener, seeing him bang that 58-yarder really
could have been good from at least 65, maybe 70. He really hit that thing. So that's a positive. Now, Dallas Goedert, you brought him up a little bit earlier because we were having this discussion. Look, he's injury prone. That's is what he is. Part of it is he's a very physical player. But this sprained knee, what are you going to do about it? It's not supposed to be long-term. My understanding, he should be back for the Rams game, but they've been through this before. And for whatever reason, they get no production from the tight end position when Dallas is not on the field. How big of a concern is that?
Can catch a few passes, but what they don't get is the help in the run game. And he's so important to that. That really affects their run game, and that's going to be everybody's focus anyway this year. That's a problem for them. It really is.
That run game focus. Now, here's the thing I've heard a lot. I'm sure you've heard it. Because the one thing Kansas City did in the Super Bowl, Les, was stop Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
And everybody has jumped to this conclusion that, well, everybody's going to copy that. And I think to myself, that didn't work out too well.
Didn't work at all.
A 40 burger.
Right.
Yeah. Why would everyone copy that? I don't get that sentiment, other than if your only goal is to stop Saquon Barkley. Presumably the goal is to win a football game.
Well, there's Super Bowl Jalen Hurts, and then there's the Jalen Hurts we saw in week 1.
Well, that's
I think that's the simplest answer. He doesn't want to throw the ball downfield a lot. I don't think against zone coverages. I don't know. I mean, you're right. It didn't work. And I've said this before, but my biggest frustration watching the game on TV was that the announcers didn't seem to grasp. They kept talking about the fact that the Chiefs were really stopping Saquon Barkley, and the score just kept mounting higher.
I know. It's 40-6.
Seem to understand the implications.
It's 40-6, but they're bottling up
really
Saquon Barkley.
Stopping Saquon Barkley narrative. They just thought that was the coolest thing in the world, that the Chiefs were stopping Saquon Barkley. But I don't think I think if you do stop Saquon Barkley, you make the Eagles do things that they are not as comfortable doing. They should be pretty comfortable doing them, and they can be, as I showed in the Super Bowl. But I don't think in a normal weekly game they really want to be a passing team, and that's what you turn them into, And also the defense in that game played a huge role with touchdowns and field position and.
Oh my God! I mean.
Yeah,
I talk about it all the time. That front four should have been the MVP. Obviously, you can't give it to a group, but the Eagles' defensive front to me was the MVP of that Super Bowl. And obviously, the quarterback's going to win. And Jalen played great. Don't get me wrong. Cooper DeJean.
He sure did. He's played great in both Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought he played better in the one he lost than the one he won. From that standpoint. So you're right. He's played well in both. Where are you with Kansas City? Because I say this all the time, Les. I think that game kind of broke me on Kansas City. I came out of that Super Bowl saying, boy, this looks like a lot of things went their way last year correctly. Yeah. They won a lot of one-score games. They just didn't match up from a talent perspective. Your point, how good the Eagles' talent was. I saw a declining team, and that's what I see this year. Am I jumping the gun? Did I get too broken from that performance by the Eagles in the Super Bowl?
I kind of agree with you. Again, we've only seen one game of 2025, but it was not encouraging from a Kansas City standpoint. 6-point loss to the Chargers. That should have been more than 6 points. Other than Mahomes pulling some rabbits out of his hat, they had very little going on there. I don't think their offensive line is great. I don't think their defense is great. They're missing a really good safety. That was a bulwark of their defense last year. The whole thing sort of starting to look tired to me, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll rise up and blow the Eagles out. Certainly there's going to be a lot of emotion Sunday from them. But, I'm with you. They look like a fading dynasty. They needed to maybe turn things over a little more than they did. I don't know. I don't know their situation intimately, but they don't have great wide receivers. Xavier Worthy now apparently has a shoulder injury that he might be able to get out there on the field Sunday, but I don't think he's going to be able to raise his arm if he does.
I know. Boy, I'll give him a lot of credit if you can play in 1 week on a dislocated shoulder. That'd be pretty impressive. But the crazy part is even when they have Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, it's not that good. But at least it's competent and you have some speed and you can do some different things. But I'm with you. I watched that Chargers game and I'm like, if it wasn't for Mahomes, pulling a rabbit out of his hat, as you said a couple times, that's a blowout game. And when you have to count on off schedule stuff, that's not, it's great to have. Yeah. You see it here with Jalen all the time. It's great to have, but you can't just count on that.
Right.
And I think
the Eagles are going to have a pass rush that's way better than what they had in their opener. And maybe Zadarius Smith will help them with that. But
how quick do you think they get to Zadarius Smith as being the guy on third down?
Oh, pretty quick. Because I don't think it's that, there's some positions where learning a defense is really, a big deal. And you have to spend a lot of time, in the classroom and so forth. I don't think rushing the passer is one of those
Yeah. Go get the quarterback. That's pretty much the instruction. Go get the
Yeah,
quarterback. I'm
exactly.
with you. Yeah.
For that purpose. Now, doing all the stuff that they want their edge guys to do is going to take some time. But if you're talking about third down, go get that guy. No, he can do that right now, I would think, unless, if he's in shape and so forth.
Yeah, he's in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks different than the other guys. I'll say that physically. I think it's going to work out well if he's got anything left in the tank, which I think he does. He had a good pass rushing season last year.
Yes, he did. 9 sacks. Yes.
And now he gets to play with Jaylen Carter, hopefully, if Jalen could contain himself. So that should be. What did you think of that? I should have asked you that.
Jaylen Carter business. I thought that was a very elegant solution the NFL came up with to pretend that they'd given him a 1-game suspension. Somebody else mentioned, well, what if he'd actually played a series and then done this?
Yeah, exactly. He got a break because he did it right away.
But they set their precedent going forward. They are going to be more harder on this than they used to be. When it's happened before. From the Carter perspective, I don't think he'll do that again. But I think he's a guy that making him the centerpiece of your defense comes with risks.
Yeah, I agree, Les.
There have been several things from the drag racing death to the shoplifting thing his rookie year to this.
Ripped off the guy's helmet. What game was that where he ripped off the guy's helmet?
He doesn't seem to be he's not exactly Malcolm Jenkins back there. You're not getting somebody who really thinks things through a lot and who is mature and focused. And this is something I think you're going to have to be aware of. Unless something happens with him internally where he just sort of gets it. We saw him get it on the field, over the last year or so. He became a very much more consistent player in terms of his, pass rushing and so forth.
Opponents are going to try to antagonize him, right?
Yes, they are. Yes.
And offensive linemen, as Les knows, especially covering the Eagles for so long, those are some of the most intelligent guys, the most savvy guys, the veteran guys. They will poke and prod.
Yeah.
And they're also physical. Sometimes they're crazy. Let's be honest. They will try to antagonize Jaylen Carter. Will they not? Because I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, they will. And he's got he's in a position now where he's put himself in a position where he can't respond to anything. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And just overall, as we move toward giving him a ginormous contract and making him the focal point here, what kind of guy is this? What's he going to? What are his next several years going to be like? On and off the field. And I guess that's why they paid Big Dom those big bucks.
Yeah. Dom's got a lot to do, man. He's got a lot to do.
He does. Even Zadarius Smith was like, one of the reasons I came to Philly, I like Big Dom. I was like, what? Hey, this guy, Big Dom, is like
Dom has become a star. But he does do a lot. It's interesting. They have those inside baseball here, these biometric things that don't work. It hasn't worked for me. And Big Dom's fixing that. Nobody can fix it. I want the Big Dom. He's fixing that. He does a lot of stuff for that organization.
Yeah.
That people don't know. And he is a big part of it. But to Les's point, that part of it's the biggest part.
You got to really hope Jaylen Carter grows up in a lot of ways.
Yeah. It's a maturity issue.
Yeah.
Because he's the nicest kid. He really is. He's very polite. And some people we know from people in our own lives, some people mature faster than other people. Not everybody's on the same scale, but you hope it clicks. I will say this, Les, and I might be jumping the gun, But I think there was and I was talking about this with Sal Palantonio. Sal was like, he's going to be the highest paid player in football, passing Micah Parsons, defensive player, not including. And I'm like, I don't think he is. I think from that standpoint, that's already off the table. He's going to get paid a lot of money. But the assumption that he's going to set the bar, I think that's completely off the table now, Les. You think I'm overreacting to that?
I don't know. It kind of depends on how he plays. I mean, he could make it. He can make it so they have to do that. If he's just wrecking games and dominating.
Well, what I'm saying is, even if he does perform to that level you're talking about, he's still not going to set that bar. He's still going to get paid a lot. That's where I am.
Well, they do have a little bit of leverage in that they didn't pull back any of the guarantees or anything that they could have done over the suspension. And I'm sure they'll use that.
Now, couldn't it? I mean, couldn't that be taken as, they're not going to punish him because they believe, they still believe in who he is as a man? Or could also be, hey, we didn't dock your bonuses now, but we're not going to give you the highest pay. I don't know. I think that could be.
I think to Les's point, I don't know if that's what you meant, but I think it's about leverage. I think
that gives them leverage. I think that, we did you a favor here, give us a break. I don't know. I don't know how Drew Rosenhaus will react to that. He's been around a long time. He's not one to get, too.
He's not going to get hoodwinked, but But I think it impacts him at least a little bit. But we'll see. And to Les's point, that part of it's the bigger part. He's got to play well first to be in that conversation. I think people were jumping the gun there, but make sure you follow Les on the X platform at Les Bowen. Read him at PHLY, doing a good job over there covering this football team. I guess we got to go. Who's winning this football game? Arrowhead home opener. Like, I don't care about the Super Bowl stuff, Les, but the home opener, that's a really tough place to play. Jordan Mailata was talking about it yesterday. He said it feels like you have tinnitus in your ear. There's a ringing. That's how loud it gets. Their sense of urgency for Kansas City's there. They don't want to start 0-2. That's always
lots being made about them not having done that in years, and Mahomes never having lost 3 games in a row and so forth. All that's true, and it's worth taking into account. But I don't see how the Kansas City is the better team. I just don't. I will take the Eagles until proven wrong, maybe like 28-23, something like that. We're so early, I don't know. But but I don't see a reason to pick the Chiefs other than, oh my God, they're going to Arrowhead and the Chiefs are really mad. That's not something I base a pick on.
They're really revenge. I'm with you. I'm the same way. All these things point to Kansas City, and then I get to the rosters and I say I can't pick Kansas City.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Even the thought of 23 points for them sounds crazy. Throwing a
it does,
I don't know.
Right, you gotta maybe a Tank Bigsby fumble on the kickoff, and they got
something weird. You
never know how the ball could bounce. Les Bowen, we appreciate you joining in today. Make sure you guys follow him at Les Bowen. Read him at PHLY. Les, thank you, brother. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Les.
Great stuff from Les Bowen, breaking down the game. Always good to get somebody in that's seen as much football as Les has. So great stuff from him. We appreciate him joining. John, we got a couple minutes left on the show here. Any takeaways from what Les had to say about the game? I think he had his finger kind of on the pulse of where you are.
I got the same mentality. I'm like, there's a lot of intangible things that point Kansas City's way, but then I get to the roster and I'm like, I can't pick this team. I cannot pick this team at this stage with what they have. That's where I am with this game. So we'll see if I'm right, but that'd be really impressive if they could pull this one off.
I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Now the question for me is going to be, how's that Eagles offense attack? I mean, I think the most interesting part of the matchup in the game within the game is just Spagnuolo and what he does differently, because for lack of a better word, he got embarrassed in the Super Bowl, John. I mean, he did. He got embarrassed.
Yes, he did.
He got him. He said to himself, I couldn't watch that tape for I don't know how long. He said I couldn't watch the tape. He said so. He got embarrassed. What's going to be his approach coming back at this Eagles? I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I think somebody predicted that might happen, but I digress. Yeah,
you said Fangio was better, didn't you?
Well, I said Fangio was significantly better, and I thought the Eagles were going to win the game pretty easily. I didn't think they were going to win it that easily, but but yeah, I got to spike the football. Nothing wrong. A little celebration when you get one right. So I get plenty wrong as well, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure he wants to rebound from that, as I said. So there, for the guys who played in that game, that's got to leave a bad taste in their mouths, no doubt about it. And but he's in the same situation where, if you try to overload to stop Saquon Barkley, you're not going to be able to stop the other part of the equation. So he's got to come up with a more layered plan that I thought that was a very one-dimensional thought process. And he's got to be, hey, not the worst thing in the world to copy in this league. Everybody calls it a copycat league. Do what Dallas did, but do it better. Play zone. Yeah. I mean, impact.
Add a spy? Is that what you would change there in that
well,
scheme?
You just got to be you got to get in. I don't think you can waste that extra defender as a spy. I think that's more for you saw Flores do it against Caleb Williams, who's really explosive as a runner. Like Jalen's a very good runner, but he's not quite that explosive like Lamar Jackson, that type of explosive.
Jalen's more of like a tactical runner.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He's more like a big back, runner. Like I was talking about with Pacheco versus Saquon or somebody like that.
Yeah, right.
Very, very effective, but I don't think you can
tell your defensive line to pass rush, but don't pass rush fully. Yeah,
exactly. And that's why
Jalen Hurts is going to gash you. So it's like, okay, just stay there. Don't let him run.
And that's why it's called discipline. You got to be very disciplined because the pass rushers are just, in tune. Their whole mindset is get the quarterback. And if you go inside when you should be setting the edge to keep them pinned in the pocket, you're going to get out. You're going to get gashed. So I don't know if you can waste the spy because then you're taking somebody out of coverage essentially. But yeah, they might use a spy as well.
So is it contain and zone and then just kind of try and force Jalen to?
Well, it's the zone part of it is keep everything in front of you.
You're right.
Limit explosives. That the heavy box is obviously to take care of Saquon, and then the disciplined pass rush is to make sure you take away as much off schedule stuff. And then the goal is to make them go. If they're going to go 15 plays, Godspeed, but make them go 15 plays. Because then everything else comes in, holding, ball start, loud environment. That's what I would do if I was Steve Spagnuolo. But he likes to blitz. We all know that. That's his mindset. I'm sure he'll bring the house when it's 3rd and long. And I'd be a little bit more cautious, but that's probably not in his nature. So I think that could work into the Eagles' advantage as well, because then you get those one-on-one go routes again, and that you saw how that worked out for Kansas.
Yeah, right.
So
they got an uphill battle in this game too, so it's gonna be an interesting one to see how the Chiefs approach it offensively and defensively. I think we know what we're going to see from the Eagles. That's the interesting part of the game. Let's go to a super chat here. Brian Fleming, what's up, Flem? J-Mac also predicted the Commies would win the East, and they got dog walked last night. Wow.
Well, they did.
You don't win the East in week 2.
Yeah, that's what I was about. It is week 2. I don't think the Eagles clinched the East. But the Commanders did get dog walk, Brian. But I also said, which you ignored, which is typical, but thanks for the $5. I also been talking up Green Bay, if you've been paying any modicum of attention. And I've said the biggest hurdle in the NFC is Green Bay. So,
we'll see how the Commanders bounce back. I mean, that was a tough game last night, but
they didn't lose to Chicago. They didn't lose to.
I feel pretty good though. That look, I've been saying all summer, and I've been battling you and Cilio both on it. I'm not sold yet that they're going to be a contender again.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
1 year, I'm just not. And last night's not enough to prove me right. We're close.
Wait. You're not sold that the Green Bay Packers are going
to
be
no. Commanders. Did I say Packers? I meant Commanders.
Well, it depends. Are they? You're not sold? Because I agree with you. I don't think they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I've said that pretty consistently. So you're not sold on they're a contender for the NFC East?
No, I didn't. I wasn't sold that they were gonna do what they were able to do last year.
I've said that from the start. They didn't belong.
I mean, remember, one of my early predictions, John, was that the Cowboys were going to get second in the East. Now, I don't feel good about my own prediction. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, the Cowboys are much better.
My point was that I don't think the Commanders are going to take the step forward that many thought.
I said from the day of that game, they didn't belong in that game. So for the people that thought they were Super Bowl contenders, I never
think the Eagles are Super Bowl contenders and the Commanders are not, but you have the Commanders winning the East.
Because I think the Eagles are the better team, but I think people don't understand that often because of the unbalanced schedule, the better team does not win a division. Often, every year in this league, you hear about worst to first in certain divisions. There's at least one every year. They are not necessarily better than the second place team that maybe had the first place schedule, but they won the division. I don't understand why people can't wrap their head around this. I think the Eagles are a better team. I think Washington, part of it is the history of the division. Let's be honest. It's been 2 decades. But they have an easier road than the Eagles on paper. And they just hit one of their big roadblocks. Well, guess what? And we'll see. It's about timing, place. We'll see who's healthy. But the Eagles got to play Green Bay too. So, and their 3 extra games are a lot tougher first place teams than Washington's three teams, which are second place teams. So, in a 32-team league, I shouldn't have to explain this, but when you play a 17-game schedule, it is unbalanced. Everybody's not playing the same group of teams.
Right. Or the same version of a team if you're playing the same team. The Packers
and then the
Packers too.
Who knows? Maybe, God forbid for them, but who knows? Maybe Micah Parsons gets hurt, like Aiden Hutchinson got hurt, and it's not the same team. Things happen quickly in the NFL.
Micah did look good last night, man. Micah was all over
the field. It's like Eagles fans are suddenly waking up to this.
I knew how good he was. I'm just used to being able to mitigate it better than most. I mean, we do mitigate it better than most. That's what I like about our matchup with the Packers. We have a better build to handle that type of team than most do.
Well, the Eagles have a great offensive line compared to most teams. So, by nature, obviously, they're going to be a little bit better than everybody else. But, from talking with them over the years, like, again, the same Eagles fans would always spike the football that, and rightfully so. I mean, they're fans. Aaron Donald never got a sack against the Eagles. And the amount of effort the Eagles put into making that happen. What Kelsey and I've talked numerous times with Kelsey and Mailata and Lane and everybody else, the amount they put into stopping that particular player, and the same thing with Micah, not quite to that degree, but the same thing with Micah. They name pass protections after certain players. The only 3 I know of are Aaron Donald, Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett. They literally name pass protections after those players.
John, we're way over. I didn't realize we were over. You got to go. I know you got to get down in the military complex for today. Real quick, though. One comment on this, because I've gotten like 30 of these comments today, maybe more. The Saints were supposed to go to the Super Bowl in September last year. Pump the brakes on the Commanders. That sounds like a load of bullshit to me.
Saints.
They're saying last year the Saints were the team in week 1 and 2 that looked like they were going.
Saints looked really good. The running game looked really good. I didn't think anybody was talking about the Saints going to the Super Bowl. But,
that's what I thought too. All right, John, your final thought on the day. I know you got to run.
Yeah, plus the Commanders. I'm talking about the Packers, not for Super Bowl contender. But yeah, that has to do with attrition and all that stuff. But right now, they look really good.
They do.
That's
it.
it.
Great show, my friend. I will catch you on Sunday for the pregame show, my friend.
All right, thanks all.
All right, thanks, Johnny Mac. There's Johnny Mac. John McMullen joining us right here on Birds 365. A great show today. Good stuff from Les Bowen. We got a fun Zander time plan. We'll talk about some things. The comment of the day. I have officially just found the comment of the day. The comment of the day. I didn't want to read it to John because he would shit on it. It's last year. But the comment of the day. All right, it's recent. It was probably sent in the last 3 minutes. Who can guess what the comment of the day is? Molly Tree, whatever your name is. He says, beat them on 2 different continents. Spare me, please. We beat their ass in South America and North America, motherfucker. All right. We beat their ass in 2 different continents. All right. That was the comment of the last 5 minutes. Maybe the comment of the day today. All right. Molly Trey, well done, my friend. Well done. All right. Johnny Mac would have put you in a blender. He would say, oh, that's last year. What does that have to do with this year? I will say this. All right. Let's have a conversation about the Green Bay Packers. One, I don't think they're anything like the Saints last year. All right. So anyone that's saying that, I don't agree. All right. I don't agree. I think the Green Bay Packers are a legitimate team this year. They won 12 games last year. They're not the Saints. All right. They won 12 games last year. We beat them in the playoffs, obviously. I think it was like 22-10 that final. Jordan Love didn't look very good in that game, but that defense is good, man. That's a swarming defense. They got a lot of players in that defense. Now it's week 2. I mean, let's see. You know, we got a long way to go. We got attrition is a big part of it, but I do think that Packers team is the one team that the Eagles are going to have to deal with in the NFC. Here comes Joel, who thinks apparently Joel, because he's in my comment section, thinks he runs JAKIB, thinks he owns JAKIB, and thinks he can tell me what to talk about. Joel, sit down and shut the fuck up. All right, I'll talk about whatever I want, Joel. You don't run this show, Joel. So get out of here if you don't like it. I will take no prisoners. I am done letting people come in here and dictate. Oh, my God, you can't talk about this because I'm a crybaby Eagle fan. I don't want to hear about the Packers. I want to talk about my Eagle. Shut up, Joel. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You can't do it. Please, don't do it. Shut up, Joel. Please, for the love of Pete, get out of here. Get out of here. All right? They're a good team. They're a good team. And I think they're going to be a good matchup for the Birds in this conference this year. I really do. Chris, I'm with you. All right? I like talking about all football. Joel says I'm taking a dump. All right, he must be at the shitter at work and he wants to hear some Eagles talk. I got some love for him for that. All right, I had to shit on him real quick, but he's taking a dump and he wants to hear some Eagles talk before he goes back and gets reamed by his boss. All right. Joel, I love you, Joel. I had to take you to the cleaners, but I love you. All right. I had to take you to the cleaners, but I love you. Yeah, he wants to try to hear some Birds talk. I can't hate him for that. Here's Dank. What's up, Dank? We're not going to talk about how AJ and Smith own the Chiefs secondary. That's true, Dank. I mean, they definitely did last year, but dang, don't you think they're just going to drop a back play too high and, not let him beat him over the top? Now, look, maybe the intermediate game it becomes a big part of the game. Maybe Jalen kind of, attacks him that way, but I don't think they're going to let that over the top stuff happen again. All right. Molly, you're on fire today. Molly sums up exactly how I feel about the Packers. All right. They're good. I still like our team versus them. I just think we have a great matchup versus them. Their pass rush is obviously dominant, as you saw. Jaden Daniels got Brian Pumper. I know you're like in love with Jaden Daniels, and I know so many people wanted to dub him the next great superstar. That was not a top 5 quarterback in football last night. No way. That dude was all over the place. He didn't look calm. He didn't look comfortable. He didn't look confident. He couldn't do shit last night versus that Packers defense. He did nothing. So Brian Pumper, save it. All right. Let's see what this guy can do. It's year 2. Jaden Daniels. People try to tell me, the funniest part about watching Jaden Daniels last night is it looked like what people try and tell me Jalen Hurts is. Jalen Hurts can't read defenses. Really, I watched Jalen Hurts read defense. Jaden Daniels couldn't read what they were doing last night to save his life. Jalen Hurts can't read defense. I don't know. Can Jaden Daniels read defenses? I mean, he was tucking that ball and running every play. What were his stats last night? Let me look that up. I thought it was a great football game, though, to be honest with you guys. I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed watching the game. 24 of 42 for 202 tutties. 7 carries for 17 yards. All right, so remember when the Commanders traded away Brian Robinson and yours truly said to you guys that was a stupid trade? The leading rusher for the Commanders last night was Jaden Daniels with, wait, ready for it, guys? The leading rusher on the Commanders. You ready for this? 17 fucking yards. The leading rusher for the Commanders had 17 yards. Oh, good trade. Hey, James Jones, that was a good trade. Yeah, Brian Robinson. See you, dude. We got Austin Eckler. He's done for the year. Yeah, we got Eckler. We're good, man. We're good. We got Eckler. We ain't worried about Brian Robinson. We don't need a running game. Who said a sophomore quarterback would be helped out by a running game? That's a joke. And for all the people, hey, look, I understand the Packers I think they should run the ball more too. They are way too pass happy. But hey, at least Josh Jacobs had 23 carries for 84 yards. 7 carries for 17 yards. I know they were playing from behind. So for all the people who go, they were playing from behind. You can't run when you're playing from behind. There's got to be some balance in football. Micah Parsons was tormenting Jaden Daniels last night because he knew what they were going to do every single play. Pin his ears back and go. That dude, Josh Connerly, I don't know if he slept last night. That dude got tormented, man. I know Eagles fans sometimes don't like to give Micah Parsons the credit, but Micah Parsons was annihilating him last night. Annihilating him. Nobody could block him. Tunsil did not look good either. As I told you, guys, I'm not the type of guy that loves to come up here and toot my horn, but every once in a while, I have an opinion. And I have a heart, and I feel strongly about something. And one of the things this offseason that I said was that I don't think the Commanders are going to be what they're going to be. I don't think what everybody's saying about the Commanders is going to bear out to be true. I feel pretty good about that so far. That team ain't that good. That Commanders team ain't that good. In fact, I think they got worse. No, that Big Trag, you knew that. Did they say Kinlaw's name? They got rid of Jonathan Allen and replaced him with Javon Kinlaw, and everybody tried to tell me that was an upgrade. That was a brutal move. A brutal move. Those Commanders are not that good. I hate to do it. I really hate to do it. I hate to fucking do it. And we can't make this proclamation after week 2. So I'm not saying I'm right yet. But let me pull out the Big Z Book of Revelations. All right? Let me pull this sucker back up. Here we go. All right, here we have listed Zander's bold predictions for 2025. All right, let's locate. Number 5. Cowboys will beat out the Commanders for second in the NFC East. Cowboys look significantly better than the Commanders in my estimation. Defense looked better. Dak Prescott has weapons, and George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Now, they got some offensive line problems, but I don't know. Let's see if your boy Big Z is correct. All you Commander nerds. Brian Pumper, you included. Brian Pumper, you're on my shit list, Brian Pumper. How many times have you told me this guy Jaden Daniels is generational? Yeah, he was a deer in the headlights last night. He was a deer in the headlights. A deer in the headlights. Everybody tell him, oh my God, he's so much better than Jalen Hurts. He's generational. No. Don't give me that bullshit. Jalen Hurts is a superior quarterback to Jaden Daniels right now. Superior. All right? I don't want to hear that bullshit. Here, let's go to some supers. Brian Fleming, what up, Fleming? Johnny Mack ripped you to shreds today, Fleming. Let's see if I'll do the same. Tommy's O-line sucks. Their secondary is trash. Lattimore is washed. Scary Terry was shut down. Eckler is out with an Achilles. They're shit. Yeah, sounds like you're on my page. I won't be ripping you either because that's factual. Lattimore looks like trash. Lattimore is brutal. Unfortunate. That guy does not look good. I think I might rather have a Dory. No, I'm just kidding. That might be too far. All right, we went too far. Now, Lattimore doesn't look good. Scary Terry, meh. Another thing I said, hey, I think he's a good player. I don't know if he's $32 million worth. Yo, Scary, you're making 32 now. Get open for the sophomore quarterback. Do something. Oh, wait, he couldn't do shit versus that Green Bay secondary. Here's Dank Bird Gang. What up, Dank? We already got that. Thank you, Dank. Here's Brian Pumper. Zander, would you sign the booty goon, Christian Wilkins? Yeah. Oh, man. Yo, Brian Pumper, you might have some shitty football takes, but you are a funny dude. We might have to. I think I got to say no to the booty goon. I might have to say no to the booty goon. Brian Pumper, a booty goon can mess up an entire locker room, my friend. A booty goon can mess up your entire flow in a locker room, my friend. I don't think you can bring that in, Pump. I don't think you can bring it in. The risk is too high, Pumper. A booty goon. That is absolutely diabolical. He called him a booty goon. Oh my goodness. A booty goon. Hey man, that Christian Wilkins stuff was interesting stuff, man. I don't know about that. All right. I don't know about that. Molly checking in. What's up, Molly? Right now, Molly has the comment of the day. Molly says, LOL, respect to you guys. The Packers are a good team. I just like our chances. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Molly. Appreciate it, bro. No, I agree with you. I think they're a great team. In fact, I think they're the second best team in the NFC, but I still like our chance. I just like the way the Eagles are built versus a team like that. That team is going to mess up a lot of offenses because of the pressure that defensive line is going to be able to create. By the way, the secondary was swarming too. You got to give that secondary credit. They looked really good yesterday. That Green Bay secondary looked really good. All right. So, oh man. That's pretty funny, though. Alfredo says, Zander, did you see the Packers media team stole Coop and Reed's exciting whites and Reed and Coop commented on it? I didn't see that. All right. Kirsten said, what the F does booty goon mean? I ain't Googling that shit. Nah, Kirsten, you don't want to Google that. Kirsten, here's what you can Google, though, all right, to save your search results. Type in Christian Wilkins locker room problems or something like that. All right. That dude was a freak. That dude was a freak show, evidently. As why Pumper has dubbed him the booty goon. Oh my gosh. Zander time is off to a fast start today, folks. We're like 20 minutes. We're like 15 minutes into this thing. We got booty goons. We got Brian Fleming. We got all sorts of things. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am not sold on the Commanders team or Jaden Daniels, mind you. Where's James Jones? Where's James Jones? James, where are you? Wait a second. All right, who remembers when I showed them the Roswell Green Corvette yesterday? All right, since that would match the two companies that I'm working on, all right, JAKIB Sports, obviously my main company, my main baby, my main vision, my main goals, all right, and ZK's Garage, something I started recently that so I made a call after the show yesterday, and I'm getting some info back now. All right, I'm getting some info back now. So I just got the text. They want that Roswell Green. I want that Roswell Green. All right, I want that. No, I didn't order, Tony. I just called the GM at the store at the Chevy store, and I told him to get me some numbers and tell me what he'd give me for my white one. He'll get me out of my white one for basically have paid nothing for it in a couple months. So if I can get out of it, Tony, and he'll order me a green one and a 26. Oh! Oh! ZK's Garage needs that car. I agree. WP says, Def don't Google booty goon. No, do not. Do not do it. All right. All right. We're doing a giveaway today. Yes, we are. See, Dirty Air's a white. See, I don't know, man. White's just. I love the white, but shit, man. I want a C7 ZR1. Those are crazy. Those are like $200,000. Those still the ZR1s, and even in the C7. All right. Here comes C24. Look at his dork. Blah. He literally is such a fucking stalker. It's creepy. It's creepy as hell. All right. Fucking creepy ass weirdo. Now he's stalking my woman. Oh, gosh. Rapid Blue, I don't think so. Not for me. Yeah, the Roswell Green is sick. It is. It really is sick. Family turned in the shooter. Is that for what's the giveaway? No, stop. Joel, good bounce back. All right, Joel. Good bounce back. All right. M. Reyes, you have terrible taste in cars. Shut up. All right. Apparently they got the shooter, yeah. I don't know if it's I'm not on there. Izzy B, the new ZR1 is about $300,000. I'm not there yet, Izzy B. All right, not there yet. Wilkins was goosing people like Wawa. I don't even know what that means. Extra giveaway if the Eagles clobber the Chiefs by 20 plus. Deal. Done. All right, I have an offer. I have an offer for everybody. Yeah, that's before dealer markup, Izzy B. You know they're going to be marking those things up like crazy. All right. Prince, he doesn't know my fiance. He's a fucking stalker weirdo. He stalked my sister. He stalked my other sister. He stalked my father. He stalks me. Now he stalks my woman. He's a fucking creep. He's a weirdo. I love doing these shows, and don't get me wrong, I love the business I have, but there are fucking weirdos in the world. C24 classified as a fucking weirdo. And if that dude ever steps foot anywhere near the premises of my home, he will be blown to smithereens. Stand your ground, laws, baby. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, he's a creep. He's a total creep. A creepy ass dude. I did. I called the cops. Don't worry. I sent in everything. They got all his social media accounts, all 30 of them. He's a weirdo. He's a weirdo. A total weirdo. It's one thing to troll in a chat. Trolls are funny. Brian Pumper is a troll. He's hilarious. Trolls are trolls. The AI chat summary, that is hilarious. The chat summary says, viewers in the chat are discussing a clean, possibly green Corvette and reference the Commanders in a recent game. Some viewers also mentioned Booty Goon and suggest not Googling it. That is the best AI breakdown you'll ever get. All right? That is the best AI breakdown you'll ever get. That's classic. That is classic. All right? That's classic. He's not living off the government. He's living in mama's fucking basement. He's a weirdo. All right. He's a weirdo. All right, we're doing a giveaway today. This is my only 13K to add carbon fiber wheels. How many super chats you need? Well, I need $26,000 of super chats, but even if I got that, I got to spend that on some other shit over some carbon fiber wheels, Izzy B. One day we'll get there, though. All right, this is my offer to everybody. Now, yesterday I gave you the rundown on how I'm going to contribute like the entries for our giveaways this year, legends, and if you're a member on the site, if you're a member on both. So I don't really want to walk through that entire thing again. Basically, you get extra entries if you're a member on the website. If you're not a member on the site, you're still getting entries, obviously. So all you got to do is be a member somewhere, and you're entered into our giveaways. All right, so we did it all yesterday. Now, this is what I will say today, okay? And I'm not going to do this every day because the business has more expenses than just the cost of jerseys to give them away and things like that, as you all know. All right, yesterday, I told you guys you can become a member on the website. It's at jakibsports.com. All right, so I launched that site. I got more articles coming. I just talked with John. He's going to start writing 2 stories a week at least, or 2 stories a game and maybe a couple more in the week for the website. So we're going to have more consistent flow of articles coming up there as well. I'm writing one. I'm about to publish one today, actually, that I'll share up about why I'm not worried about A.J. Brown in the passing game. All right, so this is what I'm doing. And yesterday is included in this, okay? Yesterday is included in this. Anybody that becomes a member, a paying member on the JAKIB Sports website, okay? Anybody. So Tyler Kavanaugh just became a member 4 minutes ago, a JAKIB family member. Thank you, brother. I will add you in and you will get your 2 extra entries for being a member on the site. Any dollar I get on the website today and yesterday will go directly toward extra jerseys, not the jerseys I'm going to give away, extra jerseys. So yesterday we got, 5 or 6 members at least on the website. I just got one more in Tyler Kavanaugh. I just got another one in TK Washington, a JAKIB legend on the website. So every member who becomes a member on JAKIB Sports today, every dollar of it will be put right back into the giveaway file, into the giveaway fund, and I will purchase more jerseys using that money on a monthly basis, by the way. So if it's a monthly subscription, that money every month goes right to the jersey, extra jerseys for the channel. All right. So my goal this year is 100 jerseys. It's 100 jerseys. All right. I called my jersey guy. I got the 3 here. I'm picking up 10 this weekend. So the first 10 I'm picking up this weekend. All right. Jerseys cost a lot, Fleming, especially the stitched ones. I only like the stitched ones. I don't like the other, like the Super Bowl patch ones I gave away. I didn't like them as much. I like the Kelly Green stitched jerseys because of how nice they are. I like to give away nice shit. I don't want to give away fucking junk. I want to give away nice ass jerseys. I want to give away jerseys that people wear with pride. All right. That's what I want. Over 150, a little over 150. I'm getting them closer to at cost, but so if you become a member on the website today, I'll do our giveaway today at 11 a.m. So 30 minutes out from our giveaway today. Okay? 30 minutes out from our giveaway. And whoever becomes a member on the JAKIB Sports site, we will give all that. All right? There is no such thing as a poor man's Corvette SR. Enjoy that sucker. All right? Any level. Doesn't matter what level. Can I buy a jersey using your pricing? No, you can't. Prince says, I need a bicycle. Why, Prince? What'd you say? I think family's $10 a month and Legends $25 a month. Okay. So I got a new Legend member, TK Washington. I got Tyler Cavanaugh. Lucius the Show became a member today on the YouTube channel. Lucius the Show. So he's got 5 entries. There's 5 entries for Lucius the Show. Okay. Tyler Cavanaugh. He gets Tyler Braswell. All right. So Tyler Cavanaugh. Tyler Cavanaugh gets, he's a legend. No, he's a family member. So he gets 2 entries for being a family member plus 2 entries because he did it on the website. So he gets 4 entries, Tyler Cavanaugh. Oh, shit, I spelled your last name wrong. All right, we're getting some more members on the website. Don't worry, I'll read them all to you in a second. I'm getting Cavanaugh his entries. Okay, we got Wild Bear became a member. Ryan, what's up, Ryan? Ryan became a member. Derek Epps, that's D.O., became a member. Whoa, he became a Legend member, and he did the yearly. Look at that. Thank you, D.O. Now, that's good for the Jersey people. All right, that's good for the Jersey people because he paid for the full yearly. All right, so that's going right to the website, or that's going right to the jerseys today. Infamous Paco became a member. I love that name, by the way. How about that? Infamous Paco. Thank you, Paco. Appreciate it, brother. I will add you to our giveaway list today. Again, we have till 11 a.m., so you got 27 minutes to get your memberships in. All right, so Dio has activated an additional 8 entries. All right, 8 entries by becoming a Legend member. Same with TK Washington. All right, I'm trying to manage this. Tyler Cavanaugh, I got your 4 entries. Now let me type in D.O. All right, so Mad D.O. right now has 5 entries because he's a Legend member on YouTube. Now he's got 5 more plus 3 more because of the 3 extra entries for being a Legend on the website. All right. So Dio should have 13 entries now. Mad Dio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Got you, Dio. Wild Bear becomes a JAKIB fan on the website. That's an extra entry. So 2 more entries for Wild Bear. And I believe she's also a member on the YouTube channel. So Wild Bear gets 2 more entries. Boom. Wild Bear, done and dusted. Ryan, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Where's Ryan now here? There's Ryan. So he activates 2 more entries for Ryan. Ryan's just Ryan with no last name. That's what I love about it. Molly Trey becomes a member. Molly had the comment of the day today. Molly, well done, brother. Appreciate you for becoming a member. All right, we'll add you into the list in a second here. All right, let me get all my legend members from my website. TK Washington, I got to get you now. TK, here's TK Washington. So he has 5 entries right now because he's a legend member on the YouTube channel. So he gets 5 more and 3 additional. So TK Washington is maxed out with 13 entries. That's the most you can have, guys, is 13 entries. And the way you had that is from legend on both. All right. Plus you get your extra entries from being on the website. All right. Lucius, the show just updated. He is now a legend on the site as well. So let me add Lucius's entries. He's now up to 13. All right. So he's doubled up. Lucius, the show. Boom. Lucius is maxed out with 13 entries. All right, JAKIB Nation showing love today. JAKIB Nation showing love. All right. JAKIB Nation showing love today. All right, today we're giving away. I got a jersey. I got more shirts. We'll give away some more shirts. All right, I only have 1 hat left of the Super Bowl hat because, Tony, I got your giveaway. And DL, I know I have one for you as well. All right. I got 1 more of these to give away. All right, these are pretty sick. I love the patch because it says champions. It's not just the patch. So it says champions and the green. I have one for me over there. Look how fire these hats are, dude. Ooh! Ooh! That Eagle champion hat is fire. See, this is why I like the midnight green. I know people like the Kelly, but yo, midnight's still pretty fire. Midnight is still pretty fire. All right. Fredo, I don't know you shit. Fredo always hits me with that crap. All right, got to get Molly Trey and infamous Paco. Look at that. Is it Paco? Paco? Probably Paco, right? Infamous Paco. Midnight stinks, Ryan says. I don't agree. I like the midnight. ZM, I saw that. Fused jerseys are $179. What are the fused jerseys? I don't even know what they are. All right. I'm done and dusted. Yes, you are, Wild Bear. I had a dog named Paco as a kid and have one named Taco and Nacho. Kirsten, I love you, but you're not naming my dogs. Paco, Nacho, and Taco? Hey, Kirsten, I love you, but I don't know about that. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure you love your dog's names. They're fine. They're good. I like them. The ones you like are fused jerseys. No, they're not. Joe Whip with fake news this morning. Let me look them up. Pro Shop. Pro Shop. What are they called? Fuse? I typed in Fuse and it's showing me Nick Muse. No, those are not the ones I like, Joe. Is that stitched on like that? No, I think those are these, Joe. I'm pretty sure that's this. I'm pretty sure that's this. Yeah, that's this one. This is a Nike Fuse jersey. See, it's stitched on, but it's not. I don't know. There's just something about it. It's like almost feels like it's an iron stitched. It's weird. Look, I'll show you. This is why I didn't like the Super Bowl ones I sent as much. I think Prince got a Super Bowl one. I mean, they're still nice jerseys. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. They're still nice jerseys. Wait, let me turn off the. They're fire jerseys, but there's just like something a little off with them. They're just not my favorite things in the world. So I got this one to give away. I could give this away. I like this one. Does have the Super Bowl patch. See, here's the tag. This is Nike. It says Nike on field. Engineered to the exact specifications of the National Football League. Just do it. Nike.com. Doesn't say whether it's Fuse, but it does say Nike. It does say Nike. Yeah, the lettering's a little off. That's what I mean. 18. The quality control from Fanatics is fucking brutal. That's why I don't even like using them. Because the quality control from Fanatics is awful. 18. That's why I like the style that I gave you. The Quignon. That's why I like that the best. I don't know. It's just my preference. But again, this is a dictatorship. I'm giving away the ones I like the best. All right. All right. That's why. All right. We got more subs on the website. Kirsten Carter becomes a member on the website. And the great Texas T. Thank you, Texas T. So she's activated. Jacob family means 4 more entries. All right, so let me go to Texas T, and I'll get to you, Kirsten, next. Texas T. I'm going to keep the names the same because yesterday we learned our lesson about that. All right, so Texas T is now up to, she's a family member on YouTube and a family member on the site, which means she's got 6 entries. Texas T, there's 4, 5, 6 entries for Texas T 76. Thank you, Texas T. Appreciate your support, Texas T. Kirsten Carter, thank you very much. Kirsten is added in as well with 2 extra entries. All right. Kirsten Carter is up to 3 total entries. All right. You got Coop back there? I do, Kimberly. I do. I got the – see, look at – I don't know if you guys can see on the camera. All right? Look. This is the Nike one. Okay? See, it's stitched on. It's still nice. Don't get me wrong. Still nice. This is the Kelly Green one. Bro, it's just like – this is just – I don't know, man. These Kelly Green ones are so nice. Like, I'm not a jersey guy. I don't really wear jerseys. But, oh, shit, I forgot to get John's prediction for the game. Football Friday, I forgot to get John's prediction for the game. My score prediction, I think it's going to be kind of big. I think it's going to be like 28 to 17-ish, somewhere in that range. It's probably where I am. Yeah, the Kelly Greens are nice. Who won a Kelly Green from me last year that has one in the chat? Yeah, that's Fanatics for you. Fanatics is brutal. I'm telling you, Fanatics is brutal. The Bond one I got, did I send you a Bond one, Fleming? Was that for me? I thought Big Try got my only Bond one. Yeah, Jason A-Team, you got a Quignon one. And Jason was supposed to have a Saquon. So, see, the Black and Kellys are nice too. I have one of them. That's the same quality, the Black and Kelly. 4 Reels got one. 4 Reels. I'm trying to find the damn thing. 4 Reels is the guy who sent me this beautiful Zander Krause sign. So I took off the thing you put on the back 4 Reels to hang it on the wall because I originally just kind of stamped it because I didn't want to drill into the wall. We didn't know if I was going to change around this studio. So now that it's not, it doesn't hang that way. So I'm going to hang it on the wall. And I don't know where I put the fucking thing you drilled into the back to hang it. So I was just sitting there, but it still looks good. Still looks fire. Great quality. They are good. All right. They are good. Okay. You won the coupe in black with the Kelly. That's right, TK. TK, thanks for becoming a member on the site, bro. I appreciate that. All right. Here we go. Another member on the website. All right, let me count up what we got. Dio is our biggest contributor today to the jerseys. He became a legend member for a year. That's $255. So he got I think it's like 10%. I don't know what it gives you, 10% or 20% off or something. All right. So $255. TK, 25. All right. What is that up to? 270, 280. $10 from Kavanaugh, 290, 295, 300, 325, 330, 340, 350. Just got another one from Devin Parker, 360. All right, so we're getting at least a couple extra jerseys today. I can pull. I'm going to contribute. You know what I'll do? All right, last 15 minutes. How much of a push can we get? I'll match it. So so 360 right now. All right. I will match it to get the jerseys. So 360, double it up, 720 for new jerseys. That's probably at least 5 extra jerseys, just roughly. 5 extra jerseys that we'll give away this year. All right. 5 extra right now. So I'll double it. So if we get up to, yeah, Jason, you're maxed out. Jason's a legend on both. He's maxed out. All right. All right. Devin Parker and Mac is open. Mac is open. Reveal yourself in the chat. Okay, here you are. I just want to match your name. All right. So Mac is open, became a family member on the website. So he gets 4 entries from that. So he already has 1. So he's up to 5 total. All right, Mac is open. You're in. You're in the list. Texas T, I got you done. Kirsten Carter, got you done. Russell, I got you done. Ryan, I got you. Let me make sure I'm getting everybody here. Devin Parker, I'm about to edit you now. Oh, Devin won one of our jerseys last year, one of the good ones. Okay, Devin's got 2 entries right now because he's a family member on the YouTube channel. Now he is a family member on the website, which means 4 extra entries. So he's up to 6 total for Devin Parker. All right. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff, everybody. Philly fangirl, that's fine by me. It's all about it. I'm not begging anybody. I'm not trying to beg anybody. On the way to the game, baby. Matt, what game you going to? All right. What game you going to, Matt? Mac, I'm not begging. I get it, man. That's why I always say I appreciate everybody's support, man, no matter which way it comes. Look, we got plenty of people in here who don't pay at all, and I still appreciate them and thank them, and we talk to them as well. So, oh, the only discrepancy is it doesn't have the little e. Is that what the Gene has? He's got a mini e, D-E-G. Oh, okay. I need a Jaylen Carter spit jersey. A lot of people want that Jaylen Carter jersey. All right. I'm trying to get more Carters this year. Kimberly, that's a good question. Xander, what was your reaction to AJ Brown saying you watched the show? Well, I know that they see content. So I thought it was cool, but I don't know. I think he's no really big reaction one way or the other. I think it's pretty cool, but I knew this. I mean, people always love to say the Eagles don't give a fuck about what you guys said. The Eagles, they do care. All right. Certainly the higher ups care. And some players do watch. All right. Bob Lang is watching now. He probably is. Bob Lang, we're taking care of Eagles Nation. Stop acting like we're not. Fuck you. Do they watch Bert? No, AJ Brown told John he saw John's segment. So apparently he saw the governor interview. So I don't know. No, AJ, they watch them both. Birds 365 has been cooking, man. Our numbers on Birds 365 have been really big. Our numbers on Birds 365 have been impressive. Remember, we're only half the time that Silly is. We're 2 hours as opposed to Sills is 4 hours. We're doing real good. What are our likes up to today? 152. That's low. That's real low today. That's all right. I've been trying to get to 200, but all right. We are making moves, Flex. We will continue to make moves, Flex. Kimberly, Hakalugi on the back. Prince says, make it 3 hours. The problem with that is John has to see like he's got to go down, so he can't really do anything after 10 a.m. gets tougher territory because John goes down to the NovaCare complex. All right. Cody K says, at least I don't just watch Silly and say Jacob is full of hate. Yo, Cody K, I don't give a rat's ass what they say. How many times have I told you, Cody, and I mean this, the minute the success of Jacob relies on the Eagles' approval or Bob Lang's approval or anybody outside of me, because I'm the one who works on it day in and day out, and the great people, obviously, who listen in. The minute we rely on any external factors, we are doomed to fail. All right? It's a beautiful addition. It would be a beautiful addition, but I do not rely on that for our success. We do not rely on that for our success, and we'll never do that. That's not the kind of guy I am. I'm not going to come up here and feed you bullshit or say things I don't believe. I tell you what I honestly think. If they have such a hard time with that, then that's their problem. All right, Drew. Here's Drew. What's up, brother? Zander, is Tank going to be an issue in the locker room after the reports of what he did at the Jags? Now you're going to have two guys demanding the ball. No, Drew. No. You got Saquon Barkley here, Tank. Sit down, shut up, and play your role. This is a team that has Super Bowl aspiration. This isn't the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tank. This isn't the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a team that has bigger goals and bigger visions than any individual accolade. It ain't about your touches, Tank. I do think Tank is a good player and would benefit from some touches. I think the team would benefit from some touches for Tank. But you're not going to take that approach in Philly. No, don't worry. He won't be doing that. He knows the vibe here. He'll learn very quick. All right. It's got to be that way, but I wish the Eagles weren't so tight. I missed Merrill interview. Yeah, Merrill was great, man. Merrill was great. But all good. It is what it is. Josh B, the annoying part about that was Merrill has been coming on Jacob for 5 years. Literally, you can type in Merrill Reese, Jacob Sports, and look at the collection of interviews. I'll do it right now in the YouTube studio. All right. Merrill Reese. Search 97 videos with Merrill Reese. 97, guys. We have 97 videos with Merrill Reese. Let me go back to the earliest interviews from Merrill Reese. April 30th, 2021 was Merrill Reese's first appearance on JAKIB Sports. June 10th, Merrill Reese appeared again. June 14th, 21, he appeared again. June 22nd, 21, he appeared again. June 30th, 21, he appeared again. September 22nd. So you see. All right. All through 2022. All through 2023, and all through 2024, and up through July of 2025. And then he shares an incredible story about Jalen Hurts that reaches Eagles fans everywhere. Many people talked about it, that Merrill Reese showed the Jalen Hurts shoe, and Eagles fans appreciate it, and it made them like Jalen Hurts even more. And then they say, nah, you're done. To Merrill Reese, who spent 40 years broadcasting and calling their games. You can't let Merrill Reese give some podcast interviews? Really? That's how much you need control? Come on, man. Stupid. Dude, we've had a couple go viral, though. It wasn't the first one. What happened in February after the Super Bowl when Merrill came on? February 11th, this video was published. We won the Super Bowl February 9th. You do the math. 22,000 views. Greatest Eagles team ever, Merrill called them. 15,000 views talking about Jason Kelsey's legacy. 10,000 views talking about the 2023 collapse. 41,000 views in 2021 before we acquired A.J. Brown, December of 21, talking about this being only the beginning for Jalen Hurts. That's his highest viewed interview on JAKIB. 41,000 views, 41,808 views. December 28th of 2021. Merrill Reese on Jalen Hurts' ceiling, reading defenses, and the 2021 Eagles playoff push with Dan Sileo. And now they want to get out ahead of it. I don't really care because I don't operate that way. But it is what it is. It is what it is, what it is, everybody. We keep rolling. We keep rolling. All right, 5 minutes left for some entries. I got no more entries so far, so might be tapped out on the day. But anyway, that's it. All right, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you give $1 to JAKIB Sports, I appreciate you and I respect you, and I'm thankful for you. If you give $0, but you comment here and you come here and you like our shows and you listen to our shows, I thank you for that. I appreciate you. All right. So thank you, everybody, for making JAKIB happen each and every single day. All right. I think we got one of the best. I think we have the best Eagles fan base. I really do. Now, maybe that's biased by me because it's my company, but I do. I think we have the best Eagles. I think this is where the best of the Eagles fans come. All right. The smartest Eagles fans come, where people who are, can have conversations and see things from multiple angles, who aren't afraid of the conversations, who understand the context that is involved in every conversation around football. I'm proud of the community that we have on JAKIB. I really am. I think we got a great, one of the things I love here is, like, people come here and they can, like, they talk to people in the chat. They talk to us. They talk, like, it's like a real, you don't just come here and listen to me or listen to John or listen to Sills. You talk, you converse, you debate. We go back and forth. We do it all. I think it's really a really fully encapsulating way to listen to Eagles content. I really do, and that's no disrespect to anybody else. It's I think everybody's got their own thing. All right. But I think it's a really look, I'm an Eagles fan, and I always say to myself, as an Eagles fan, would I want to come to JAKIB? I know it's my company, so it's hard to kind of take yourself out of it. But like I say, yeah, all the time, and any of my other hobbies, what's one thing I do? I like cars, right? So that's one of my hobbies. I watch car content on YouTube. I can't find any car YouTubers that go live, that there's a community of people that talk about car. Yo, did you see this update? Yo, I want to do this to my car. What should I do? What do you think about my wheel? I don't see any of that, So I think we have a great community here where, as a hobby for you guys, as your escape from whatever the real world means for you, this is a good place to spend it. At least I think it is, and I'm proud of it. So I appreciate all of you guys, though. Wouldn't be here without you. That's for damn sure. All right, wouldn't be here without you. So thank you guys for that. All right, thank you guys for that. Whoa. What is this? All right, here we go. We're getting close to our giveaway today. I think I'm going to give away this Saquon jersey. Josh B., this was supposed to be yours, but you don't want an XL. Josh B., don't worry. I already told my guy I need one for you. Wait, Josh, are you medium or large or small? Josh B., are you here? I'm giving away this Saquon jersey today. I'm giving away this Nike Saquon jersey today. All right? The Nike Saquon jersey today. I still got the bag. It's got the tags and everything. Thing is brand new. Coming to you live. Coming to you live. For the great people of JAKIB Nation. All right? For the great people of JAKIB. Okay, medium or large. Thank you, Josh. I got you. All right, I got you. Go Eagles says, short week for the old guys in Washington. I think they play better with more rest. To be honest with you, I don't think Washington's even going to be. I don't think they're even going to be. I don't think that's it. Sig Lord says, damn, so you're still here. The season is back, Sig Lord. Zander times are no longer 10 minutes. You want me to start a fight club? Can't talk about fight club. All right, what's the number one rule of fight club, Mac? The number one rule of Fight Club: don't talk about Fight Club. That's a great movie. It is. Look at Bruce Banner. Guy's such an asshole. I love him, but he's an asshole. He really is. Xander, I will say Cowboys O-line looked better than Commanders O-line. Yes, it did. I agree. Chris Scott, I'm kind of with you. He says, honestly, I think we win this division by week 14. I don't know if it'll be that quick because we do have a tough schedule, Chris. Now, I feel like we're gonna freaking I feel like we're gonna handle most of the teams on our good schedule. Like, we got Chiefs this weekend. This was talked about as one of the tough games. I don't feel like they're in our league. Rams next week. Anybody watch the Rams in week 1? They're going to be good, but they got some work to do. Tampa in week 4 is going to be interesting. That's a good team. I like Tampa. Good O-line, good defense, good pass rush, multiple receivers. Baker Mayfield gets the ball out quick. Like, they're kind of built to be able to handle. Oh, good call, Daniel. I'll text J-Mac. They're kind of built to be able to handle the Eagles' style of defense better than a lot of other teams are. You know, Baker's got that quick release. They got multiple receivers. They can spread the field long. They can, get it underneath. They got quick routes with Mike Evans and Godwin, who I think is coming back now. The Bucs are good. Let me text John. He's probably in the car, but he'll be there soon. Forgot to get your prediction. What is it? I know he's picking the Eagles. He said that earlier in the week. All right. I'm going to do this giveaway. I got to make sure I got Infamous Paco and Molly Tree in there. Where's let me get the let me add Infamous Paco. There he is. Infamous Paco. Thank you, brother. I like your name. Infamous Paco. Love it. And then we got Molly Tree. Molly Trey. Molly Trey? I think it's Molly Trey. Molly, thanks for becoming a member, brother. Molly Trey 9. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let me make sure I got my other member. I think I got one more member yesterday that I have to check. All right, we're doing our giveaway in a second. Bear with me. Bear with me. Yeah, Philly 007 we got. Jacob Fan. Let me make sure he's in there. Philly 007. All right, he's not in there, so let's go Philly. All right, Philly 007. All right, thank you, Philly 007, if you're listening, for becoming a member yesterday. Jim Adams, Dirty Air, Chris Scott, Martin Perez, all those guys became members yesterday, so they are all entered. Dion is in there. Infamous Paco, Molly Trey are added as well. All right, time to do the giveaway. Sortios, let's do this thing. Ooh, it shows me that. Now it shows me the. All right, so now that I got an account on here, it does show me my previous winners. All right, so that's pretty good. All right, here we go. I'm giving away a Saquon jersey. I'm going to do 2 giveaways today. I'll do a Saquon jersey, and then I'll do the double T-shirts again as well. All right, I'm going to get rid of these T-shirts. I'm going to give them away 2 at a time. 2 at a time. 2 at a time for the T-shirts. Saquon jersey first, and then the T-shirts. 2 T-shirts. Okay. Here we go. Let me pull it up for you guys. Uh-oh. Guess what I got to do? You guys remember what I did yesterday about this time? All right, here we go. Saquon jersey. Here we go. Infamous Paco. Man, you're going to make me want to be a streamer. Do it, Paco. All right, do it. All right, here we go. Saquon jersey. Here we go. Who needs their name checked? Who needs the check if their name's on the list? Check for me. Check for me. Woo, check for me. Everybody says check for me. Hey, the numbers on that Roswell green aren't bad, everybody. Edward, you're not a member. You're done and dusted. Xander, am I on the list? I think you are, Sig. Where is it? Let's look for Sig Lord. There he is. Sig Lord is here. Who else we got to look for? Philly fangirl. Let's make sure you're there because you're one of our best. I want to make sure you're there. There she is. Boom. 5 times over. Legend member. Legend member. She's there 5 times. Edward, you can become a member on the YouTube channel or on jakibsports.com. Stingray, Tony. Stingray. I won by being in this community. Oh, that's a cool comment, Paco. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it, man. Uh-oh. Fly Eagles fly. Did you? Wait a second. Z, make sure Riot. What's Riot? No, you're not. Riot's not on there. There's Josh. There you are, Josh Herman. All right. Done and dusted. Fly Eagles fly. Okay, wait. So let me check for you because that means you should have Fly Eagles fly. So you're a family on the website, but are you also – wait, I might have messed you up then because you put Fly Eagles fly. All right, so it didn't – 1 second. Fly Eagles fly. What kind of member are you on YouTube? I'll look for you. Give me a sec. JD3, I didn't mess you up. You're in here like 48 times. Look at this dude, JD3. JB3 is not to be confused with JD3. JD, you're maxed out at 13 entries. Steven Joseph, Fly Eagles fly. Tell me what you got. Steven Joseph, there you are, Steven. You're in there. Luis, what did you just become, member-wise? Come on. ZM, why are you worried? What are you worried about? JAKIBsports.com. Joe Whip, go cry me a river, Joe. Oh, my God. Is it time for dinner yet? Joe, what do you got better to do? What are you, golfing today? Fucking Joe crying to me. Joe, this ain't your cup. Joe, come on, Joe. I don't like ripping our OGs, but sometimes you got to do it. Regular. Okay, cool. Let me add in Luis. I got to copy this name because that's a tough name to type. Luis Felipe GZ. All right, that's good. This is not going to be this won't be perfectly alphabetical order, I don't think. Luis Felipe GZ. Is that what it was? Luis Felipe GZ. All right. Thank you, brother, for coming in. No worries. All right. Steven, you're in there. Where's my girl Fly Eagles Fly? Where is my girl Fly Eagles Fly? Because I got her in there 4 times, but let me go and look for her. Man, what is going on with my freaking computer? By the way, I got new internet in my studio. Joe Whip, you'll like this. Joe Whip, you'll like this. I got new internet in my studio. Guess what my now for this is for tech nerds, anybody that knows. Guess what my upload speed is now? I've never seen upload speed this high. I've never seen upload speed this high. Download speed I've seen pretty high. Guess what my yep, 1,000, baby. Yeah, buddy. Woo! Yeah. Catherine, what's up, Catherine? Thanks for your comment the other day on Instagram. Where is Fly Eagles Fly? Is she in here yet? Yep. We're up to 1,000 Mbps, folks, on the upload speed. That's pretty sick. Ryan, I'll look for you. I know you are, Ryan. I just edited you, so. All right. See, that's not the right Ryan. There he is. Ryan. There you go, Ryan. Houston, what's up, dog? Hey, Catherine, appreciate you. I'm up. Joe's got to one-up me. I'm upgrading to 2 gigs soon. Oh, Joe. Oh, Joe. This guy's the one-up king. What? Joe and Tony. Tony one-upped me with a sick Corvette, and now he's one-upping me with my internet. Come on, man. There's Prince. That's what I got. I got the 2 Gs. You got 1,000. I got 2,000. All right. Oh, you cispots. Fucking the one-upsters. All right, I'm pulling it because my girl is not answering me. Fly Eagles Fly is what? Exactly, Abe. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. I absolutely love that song. I absolutely love that song. Love Yours by J. Cole. It's an amazing song. All right, it's an amazing song. All right, let's do the Saquon jersey giveaway. I'm done searching your names. Start. 1 winner. Come on. 3 shuffles. 3. Come on. Come on. Oh, wait, I meant to do my dang thing, my drum roll. Ah, where you at, JB? Is JB Eagles in the flesh? This is an added giveaway today, so you got to be present to win. This is not the defensive giveaway. JB Eagles. Where are you? Where is JB Eagles? Get him out of here. Flex, we needed you yesterday. Get him out of here. The Wiggles brothers. Where is this dude? No, JB Eagles is here all the time. You guys always do this. Who's this? I've never seen this person. Yes, you have, you nerd. This is everybody when they giveaways about to be pulled. All right. Where's JB Eagles? Where you at, JB? Where you at? See, now when you guys don't laugh at my jokes, I can just play that. All right, that's a little long. That's a little long. I don't think I needed to laugh that long. How about like a couple seconds? All right, JB, you're done and you're dusted. My bad. My bad. I hit bad. I hit back on the wrong tab. Okay. I hit back on the wrong tab. Saquon. All right. My bad. Relax. Princess, that siren shit's got to go. Prince. It's okay, Princey. All right, here we go. All right, come on. Confirm. Let's go. 1 shuffle. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Who's ready? Am I internet now? Did I just give myself bad internet juju? All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. Boom! Elizabeth Hopkins. Now that is a name I haven't seen in a little bit. Elizabeth Hopkins, are you out there? Elizabeth Hopkins, are you out there? She's in jail. Elizabeth. Elizabeth, where are you? I don't know if I've ever seen her ZM either. Talking about 1K upload. This shit's slower than Celia. Oh, Fleming. Where is this chick? Another one bites the dust. Another classic AC/DC song. All right. AC/DC was iconic. I used to go to my hockey games as a kid and I would bump AC/DC. All right. Jail is at capacity. It really is. The jail is not in good shape, folks. See, look, I don't know why it makes me retype these names. I just copy and pasted them. Saquon. Here we go. 1 shuffle. Let's do 1 for Jalen Hurts. Start. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Derek Pointer. Derek, are you out there? Is that a Queen song? It's not even AC/DC. My bad. Whatever. Fuck all you guys. All right. Another one. Bites the dust. All right. That is Queen. That's not freaking AC/DC. I loved AC/DC though. My internet ain't slower than Sil. Where's this dude, Derek Pointer? Where's this dude? Pointer somewhere else. Get him out of here! Derek, you're done and you're dusted. Later, dude. Man, you're right. This internet is slacking. What is going on with this internet? Holy moly. See, that's what I call the Bob Lang juju right there, folks. That's what I call that. All right, here we go. All right. What a great morning show. Prince, it always is, my friend. It's my computer, Josh. It really is. It really is, man. It's the computer. My Apple car. I got to get the new iPhone too because this thing's crapping on me too. Although I didn't like what the new iPhone is terrible. They released a new iPhone in like orange and blue and white. I'm like, what the fuck? Can I get a black iPhone, please? I mean, what? That's why you don't brag till the end. Oh, Kirsten, sit down and shut up. Oh, Kirsten, sit down and shut up. One shuffle for Jalen Hurts. Start her up. All right. Start her up here. Come on. Come on. Nate the God. Where you at, Nate? Where you at, Nate? Come on, Nate. iPhone Air looks nice, but I need a good camera, Eduardo. Come on, Nate. 56 shuffles for Steen is hilarious. Nate, you're done. I already feel like you're not in here. I already feel like Nate's not in here. All right. I already feel like Nate is cooked. Nate, you're cooked, my friend. I like Nate, but get him out of here. Nah, he's been here. He's the one who always sends the super chats for Johnny Mac. He always sends the super chats for Johnny Mac. All right. Five shuffles for 5 birds championship. Now, how about 2 for 2 Super Bowls? How about 2 for 2 Super Bowls? We'll do 2 for 2 Super Bowls. Come on, man. I need a winner here. There's 2. 2 is the best I got for you. 10, 9. Come on. Wait, what? Can't say the name until it's there. Dale Dickerson. What a great name. That's a Hall of Fame name right there. Dale Dickerson. Dale, where you at? Dale, where you at? That's right, Catherine. Where is the green Kango? Let me get the green Kango out. Let me get the green Kango out. Let me get the green Kango out. It's a good call by you, Catherine. I forgot about that. Doug Dimmadome and Dale Dickerson. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, we got the Kelly Green Kango on. I think we're in good shape now. Dale, where are you at? Bro, this picker is struggling. Well, we only have 618 entries, and you got to be here. So, you know, we might be picking this thing for the next hour. Oh, man. Dale Dickerson. I don't like the sound of that name. It's a good name, but I don't like the sound of it, if that makes sense. All right? I don't like the sound of it, if that makes sense. Come on. Let's do this. Now I'm going to start round. 1 shuffle. 2 infamous Paco. There you are. 2 shuffles. JD 3. There he is. Lucius is in here. Start. Come on. We're rattling these off quick now. Dale Dickerson. Come on. C-Mel. Oh, man. That doesn't inspire much confidence. C-Mel. All right. C-Mel. Where are you, C-Mel? Come on. I don't want this Saquon jersey anymore. Take it off my hands. I don't think this Kelly Green Kango has the power it had last year. I don't think this has the power it had last year. C-Mel equals smell. Man, maybe. Never heard of her. What a do, chat. What up, Rocksteady? What's up with these jail names? Uh-oh, Prince. I need to get more sound effects. I love these things. I need to get more sound effects, man. It does, Philly Fangirl. It likes picking randos at first. It really does. I need more sound effects, though. I love these things, man. All right. C-Mel, you're booed out. You are booed out now, C-Mel. All right. Zander time is back and it's real. Glad I got my portable charger at work. Whoa! I got a new member on the website. Luis will be added. More. No, Luis became a member already, so I got 2 extra entries now for Luis. So let's find Luis. Here he is. He gets 3 now. 1 extra for becoming a fan on the website. 1 bonus for being on the website. We're up to 620. Luis, I've given you the proper amount of entries. Everybody else, your chances are decreasing. Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Start. Come on, man. I'm done with this day. I got work to do. 1 shuffle, TK at the top. Start it up. Start it up. Can we get a drum roll, please? Master Eagle. Yeah. Woo! We got a winner. We got a winner. Master Eagle is here. Master Eagle is here. Yeah, baby. I do got to get the womp, womp, womp. Oh, man. This seat time is so long, I took 2 shits. Good for you, Fleming. Sounds like you got to get your diet fixed. Where's my boy, Master Eagle? All right. He's here. He was just here. Where is Master Eagle? Don't tell me he left. Dude, don't tell me he left. He was literally here 28 seconds ago. Nah, dude, don't tell me. Don't tell me they got him. Don't tell me they got him. Don't tell me they got him. Where is he? He's here. He's here. He's here. He's here. Master Eagle, you're today's winner, my friend. Or you're today's first winner. We're going to do a shirt giveaway, too. All right. Oh, man. Oh, man, baby. Catherine, the Kelly Green hat still works. All right. The Kelly Green hat still works. All right, we got one more giveaway. We got the double Super Bowl shirt. So you're going to tell me what size you are, and I'm going to give you it. Master Eagle, this is for you. Zander at jakibsports.com. Boom. Email me. Confirm that it's you emailing me so none of this funny business gets involved. Okay? And I got a Saquon jersey for you with the Super Bowl LIX patch. All right? With the Super Bowl LIX patch. Boom. All right? They'll be gone soon, Mac. Although people keep doing them. All right? All right? People keep doing them. Master, did you get my email? This dude wins a jersey and he goes mute. Prince, you know what I'm on? I'm fueled by the man above. Come on, man. Come on, Prince. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the support. Prince be like, it's not a 2 a.m. post game this weekend, right? No way. No way. Those boom boom sticks. I got one right here. I got this boom boom and the tropical flavor is nice. Woo! All right. Master Eagle, did you get my email? This guy goes mute. Dude wins a jersey and says, all right, that's it for the day. No more comments. Oh, man. Master Eagle. Oh, man. Master Eagle. All right, we know he was here, so he's the winner. Let's move on. Master Eagle, whenever you decide to wake up and smell the roses, you let me know. All right? Ah, fuck. You have got to be kidding me. Oh, wait. Let me go back. I think I can find it because they gave me my old giveaways now. My promotions. Yep, 620. There it is. I can look at all the participants still. Oh, come on. Don't tell me. Oh, don't tell me this. You've got to be motherfucking kidding me. Luis, you fucked me up. Luis, you fucked me up royally. You fucked me up, Luis. I still got somewhat of a list here. But who'd I add? Didn't I add somebody? No. Who did I add? Oh, I think it was Philly 007. That's who it was. All right, we're good. It was absolutely Philly 007. That's who I added because he was a member yesterday. All right, so got him, and then Luis got 2 more entries. All right, we're back to our 620. We're good, folks. Did you lose hope? You didn't lose hope. How could you lose hope? How could you lose hope? How could you lose hope? You know who you're talking to? How could you lose hope? When your boy Big Z is on the screen, you don't lose hope. You should know better than this by now. No, it wasn't your comment. I just copy and pasted your name and it fucked me up. All right. All right. You don't lose hope when Big Z is here, which means your fear should be gone. Fear not. Thank you. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, two shirts. That's what we're giving away now. Must be present. Must be present, nerds. Must be present, nerds. 1 shovel. 2 shuffles. Have no fear. Big Z is here. That's a better rhyme. Thank you, Flex. Here we go. Here we go. Drum roll. Pile driver. Pile, are you out there? Pile, are you out there? Rose lost his mind before noon. What do you mean lost my mind? I'm in good shape, folks. Where is this dude? Pile driver. Here they come, Pile. Pile. Better run. You better get here, Pile. He won one last year. He got a Smitty jersey from me last year. I hope he's pile driving. I don't even know what that means. About to be an afternoon show. You're pissing my dogs off, Xander. Yeah, well, they can F off, JD3. Your dogs are not of my concern right now. All right? Let's get out of here with this guy. Pile, sorry, dude, but you're done. Like, I don't know why. I used to be able to go back last year, and it would just keep them. It would just keep the names there. And now I got to recopy and paste them. You guys better remind me whenever I copy and paste something's different. All right. All right. You better remind me. Izzy B, I'm making that your job. One shuffle. Let's go. Izzy B, that's your job. You hear me? Here we go. Carter Albright. Carter Albright. Are you out there? Carter Albright, are you out there? Where are you, Carter? What up, ZK? Let's go, Birds. Thank you, Melvin. Appreciate you, brother. Go, Birds. Connor, are they coming for you? Where is this dude? Connor, are you out there? Madden generated player names. That's actually not a bad take by you. All right, you're done. Connor, you're done. Izzy B, you're up. Izzy B, what do you got to remind me to do? Oh, sorry, I got it. Oh, no, it's not Saquon. Shirts. All right, let's do this. Confirm. One shuffle. Start. Come on, man. Oh, I did it early. Yeah! Sue Chick. I love Sue. Sue is a legend member, and Sue deserves these shirts. All right. What is Control Z? I don't know. What is Control Z? What is Control Z? I did Control V or whatever it is. I did Control V. Izzy B, I know what I'm doing. Where's my girl, Sue? I feel like Sue's got to win. She is such a W. Yeah, I feel like Sue's worthy. Lucius, I'll answer your email back after the show, all right, dude? I feel like Sue is worthy of a W. All right. I feel like Sue is worthy of the W. All right. What do you guys think? Thanks, Abe. Thanks, Fleming. I need to find a more sound effects that can what's this? The gong. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my goodness, that's great. What's this one? Oh, that's stupid. Bounce. That is dumb. What's this? This is, oh my goodness. What is that? What is that? Why did they make that a sound effect? That was terrible. Oh, man. That was crazy. That was crazy, man. Izzy B, StreamYard made it for me. They gave me them. I didn't get them. Trust me. They made it for me. That just sounds weird. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to give it to Sue. I think we give it to Sue, right? I'll give it to Sue today on Cilio. I know she'll be on Cilio. I know she'll be on Cilio. All right. Prince. Oh, man. Oh, that's funny. Oh, these sound effects are brutal. It lets me update my own or upload my own. So anybody that wants to make me a sound effect and email it to me, feel free to do so. Okay? feel free to do so. If it sucks, I won't use it. If it's good, I'll use it. I think I am on Twitch, Izzy B. Go look. Although I don't promote the Twitch at all. Should I get on Twitch? I feel like Twitch is, I don't know, man. I'm not like a Twitch guy, you know? Like, do I look like a Twitch guy? I don't know. I get it. There's a lot of people over there having a lot of great success. All right. They are brutal, terrible. I suggest stop. That's me to JD3. JD3, that's you. When you when you drop a comment, boink, boink. All right, that's your comments. I see a JD3 comment. This is what I hear. All right, I got to get out of here. I'm delusional now. You guys got me delusional. No shit, there are better ones. StreamYard made it like a couple days ago. They were like, yeah, we added sound effects. You can use them if you want. I'm like, all right, what are these things? This is what it gave me. This is what it gave me. What's this? Oh, that's you guys are gonna. That's a fountain. You guys are gonna use that for all sorts of ditty terms. It says punch. Ready? This is a punch. Oh man, dude. Oh man. The punch. Me when JD3 talks. Oh man. Oh man. Kirsten. Joe Whip. Tony for one-upping me. Devin Parker. Ryan. Oh, that's great. That's how I slap Izzy's ass. Come on, Flex. Show some respect, Flex. No, dirty air. No. That's like Wild Bear says, what is that? Like when Rocky punches the meat? That's a good pull by you. That's a good pull by you. That's a good pull by you, actually. All right. All right. Here's flexing. What other sound effects we got in here? Anything? Oh, explosion. I don't like that. What's this one? That was terrible. I don't like that either. That's a gunshot. We don't like that one. Ready? Oh, man. That's funny. Oh, man. Ready? Here's the police coming for Prince. Prince, they're coming, Prince. They're coming, Prince. And this is Prince on the move. All right, I'm done. I'm out of here, man. All right, I'm out of here. All right. Congrats to our 2 winners today. Sue. And who won my jersey again? Master Eagle, right? Master Eagle won my jersey. Oh, man, that's good. All right, somebody email me some sound effects. I'll upload them. I'll upload them and use them. All right, lighter flick, don't have it. I'm just going off of what they got. Izzy B. Now you guys disrespected Izzy B. She says, you should end the stream. The chat is getting out of hand. Ooh. All right, everybody. All right, everybody. I love all you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks to all of our new members today. All right. Zach Lambert just became a member. All right. Master Eagle, I got your email. Thank you, brother. I need your address, my friend, and your name. I think I got your name, though. All right. Zach, thanks for becoming a legend, brother, on the website. All right. All right. I got it. Thanks, everybody. All right. Thanks, everybody. Oh, man, I'm going to have a field day. Ready? For anybody, for all the suckers and the losers. All right, I love all you guys. See you next time, everybody.
You've been listening to Birds 365, the destination for the passionate Eagles football fan who bleeds green. If it's Eagles football, we're talking about it. Debate, inside the locker room, and guests that are some of the greatest football minds from around the region. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had a blast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on social media at JAKIB Sports. See you next time on Birds 365.